Why can't I see anything? What's happening? My God, on today. Where 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 in the world is fucking Carmen San Diego? This is this is so weird. I don't know. I don't know. I can't tell if I'm live or not. I don't know what's happening. Oh God. Oh God. Like I don't know where my main screen went, you guys. So I don't know if y'all can see me or not. I'm confusion right now. Give me a second. Okay. I think I'm here now. Hi. Oh my God. It's like, girl, what a screen at? Like, what the fuck was going on, girl? Hi, everybody. I'm sorry. Like, I was like, where are all my windows? Why can't I see? Not a goddamn thing. But I see you guys now. I'm trying to get everything back up on the screen, girl. I don't know what happened. I don't. I don't know what happened. I don't know who done it, but it was weird. Okay. Um, Let me run my intro and we'll get into the thing. Okay. In. Come on in. Come on in. Not come on in. Not come. Sorry, y'all. Y'all know I'm weird. Whatever.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondy Blue. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondy Blue. Okay, follow me on Instagram and let's get into the video. Right?
Yo, what it is, yo? How are you guys doing today? Okay, I hope everybody is having a really dope. What's today? Tuesday. Is today Tuesday? Oh my God. Okay. Um, Shout out to Paper Luck Studios, you guys. Here, girl, right here. Okay. I have merch. I have the community is not okay merch. And if you know the community is not okay and you want a sweatshirt that says it, okay, something cute, something smart, something that you may perceive is slightly funny. Okay. I'm waiting on some stuff. I have my sweatshirts over here. I don't want to lean down and get it right now, but I will. Let me do it. Because my dogs have no respect, but the community is not okay. Do you see the eyes here? Did you see the eyes? These are my eyes looking through the blinds at the community. It's out there. It's not okay. So yeah, right here on the screen. Okay. Or you can go to paperluckstudios.com. Check out the art. Okay. Check out my puzzle. I have a puzzle, you guys. Oh my God. I've been immortalized in puzzle. There it is. Do you see it? Do you see it? Do you see it? Oh my God. There it is. Y'all gonna let me be dramatic about this shit. Okay. Hold up. I'm trying to get the camera to do right. Okay. You see it. I have a coloring book. Coloring book is so cute. I want to get me some new colors. I think the next time I go to Walmart to get some wife beaters, I'm gonna get some colors. Okay. I'm gonna go down the children's aisle. Be a real big kid. I don't know. Do y'all do that? Do y'all color? Yes, yes, yes. I know. I know the screen is blurry in the background. It's called portrait mode. Okay. I'll take it off for you. There you are. There you are. There you are. Okay. Technology is so cute, girl. But yeah, support. I'm really excited. My show, December 13th, down here in New Orleans. Yes, the stand up is happening. And I'm really excited about it. What can I say? You guys, I watched the first episode of 50 Cent's Diddy documentary, and I'm watching it with a grain of salt. I'm watching it with a grain of salt, but it is bringing me to certain conclusions that I kind of already had. And I really wanted to talk about the first one with you guys. Like I made notes and everything. So I'm probably gonna give y'all like a separate video where we can talk about this. I see a clip right now of Kalina um on Instagram. But the thing that really caught me, and that's one of the reasons why it took me so long to get up here, was whenever they talk about the charity basketball game where all those kids died. And this is very esoteric, right? So you either gonna fuck with it or you not. And this is just my feelings when I watch it, and it makes me cry every time I see like any footage from it. It makes me cry. It makes me very very emotional. In a very dark, like fucked up way. Like oh my god, like it's just a lot. Like, and I'm claustrophobic. So, I've been in situations where it's been wall to wall people and it freaks me out. So, it doesn't take much for me to be able to put myself in somebody's shoes in that situation and feel the fear and the claustrophobia of being in that situation and to see the bodies laid out. Um, when I was watching the documentary, y'all. And I'm not saying that Diddy did this at the time. I don't think Puffy knew what he was doing at the time. Puffy already had like all of the building blocks to be a sociopathic, abusive type, exploitive type person, right? He had that, but he also had like innate gifts. I think there are some people, and I think it's kind of close to my gift, where you can sponge, right? You can see everything around you. And so you can soak it up and then you can redistribute it to people in a way that they can really connect with. And that's his gift. And just like in anything, you can use a gift for good or you can use a gift for evil. And when that charity basketball game happened and all of them people died and Puff got on the news and became famous and saw his name on the news, 50 did a really good job to point this part out, right? Because it starts the mechanism of him realizing that tragedy can be capitalized off of. Now think about how his album went number 1 and he did amazing numbers right after Biggie died. Think about that. Think about how someone would understand that tragedy is an opportunity if something already has taken place that's so dark and so fucked up. And then you're going to carry the guilt of what happened, right? On some level, I feel like people that don't have any feelings are still carrying shit with them, right? Just because they don't feel it doesn't mean that they don't carry it with them. And I think that because Puff was somebody that was able to like recognize things, I think he recognized the mechanism that was put in place when those people died, and he was able to get his name out there more because of it. And then there is the succubus energy, like this person that sucks the energy out of the room. Like they can give you all of this energy, right? But they can suck it all out at the same time. And the amount of pressure that he applies to everything and everybody, like many of them said, is both a good thing at some point, but also a extremely dangerous thing for somebody to have so much uh intentionality and so much pressure behind things they decide to do, because it means once they've made their mind up, there's no stopping them and everybody has to like just deal with the consequences of it. And it's just sad, y'all. I cried on that first episode a lot because it was very, very dark. Even them talking to Joy Henderson, one of his victims who was in I guess she was a model back in the day. Like I remember seeing her face like on projects, like movies and shows. I feel like I've seen her face before. But ultimately, she was working for Andre Harrell and Uptown Records, and they cleaned up a party. And Diddy was like, "Oh, they're shooting a music video. We need a girl. Won't you come and do the music video?" So she needed a ride back over the bridge from Jersey back to Manhattan. So she went with him, and they went to the video. They show you the video of her getting out of the car and what the song is about, which is a girl running from a pimp. the way niggas play is crazy. They play right in your face. It's always so crazy when you see shit like that. And she says that one day somebody told her that Puff had a video of her and he was showing it to people at parties. And if y'all remember Paid in Full, that was a thing that niggas would do. For some reason, it is currency to humiliate women in male spaces. And so once he saw a cat named Alpo do this at a club, they come in and he comes in with his recorder, and he's had sex with these girls and recorded them without their knowledge, and then puts it on, a big, projector for all of these guys to watch. And this was a thing that they did. And he started doing it. And I feel like when that lady described herself and her family, she said, we were poor, so we didn't have a lot. All we had was our intelligence and our beauty and our self respect. When she said that's all she had was her self respect, I burst into tears. Mm. I hate to start off so deep, y'all, but I really wanted to get that out because I just finished watching it. And I feel like it takes a really fucked up person to identify that light in somebody and decide that they want to take it from them like that. And then it's used to make the man bigger. It's literally energy used to make him bigger. And I feel like things, you don't have to believe that it's spiritual in order for it to be spiritual. You don't have to believe that there's esoteric shit happening in order for it to be happening. I think it's just the way it goes. It's just how it ends up being. And I think that when dudes are doing that, they're literally exchanging that woman's self-respect as currency for their own promotion, for their own exploitation. And it's really, really sad. And it was heartbreaking to hear that lady say that. And then her mom wrote a letter to his parents because the lady did not know who he was and just assumed that he had parents and not just a mom, and wrote a long letter about how she stayed with her daughter over a weekend, and in the middle of the night her daughter was screaming, and she goes to her, asks her what's going on, and she tells her she was dreaming about Puff. And her mom inquires on who the hell Puff is and why he would be giving you nightmares. And she explained what happened and said that he had assaulted her and recorded it and shared it to people. So this is how I know like what happened, because she read her mom's letter to his parents. And I was just like, because obviously that was like evidence, like that lady knew what she was doing. That was a way to say somebody knows what happened, and I'm going to put it in paper. I'm going to document it, and I'm going to send it to you so you know what your son did, but also so along the way there will be some evidence that this happened. Her mama wrote a letter to talk about what had happened to her daughter. And that was like in 1991 or 90, because they were going back and forth. So I'm assuming that was 91. But like what I paid attention to is like his fascination with certain energies for one thing, but also like trying to find father figures. I think initially they had to look a certain way. He has certain obsessions with certain looks, and Albie Shore and Heavy D had the same type of look as his dad, light skin, glasses, suits. You know what I mean? So like these are images that he wants to be next to, images that he wants to be seen with. And I think he absorbs their energy, stands on their backs, pushes off, and latches on to the next thing. Gobbles that up, climbs to the top of that, stands on that person's shoulders, hops on to the next thing. Which is why everybody will keep falling, because he'll suck from them and then drop them. And that's what's happened with all his music artists. And when people energetically do shit like that, it is so dark and it's so fucked up and it's so spiritual. And it's terrifying because what is most terrifying is how when you talk about what he's done on a real level and you understand like the severity of how much he was able to get away with, and you look around and there are still people that are zombie like about this, and I find it so upsetting, especially because I do this, right? So I'm always reading this stuff, watching this stuff, consuming this stuff, and the way people who don't view it as something that's like so far away, like something that's not close enough for them to really look at it accurately. And so people say these things like that willing participant shit that I see all the time in the comments, and that pisses me off every time, because I don't care how much of a willing participant a person has to be in their own exploitation. The person that is exploiting them is in their mind alone making the decision to exploit that person. Us blaming the victim is what we do in our society, and trying to make someone to blame for how another person harms them, when you really get down to the bottom of it, is really ridiculous. It's really, really ridiculous. So yeah, I just, and this happens all the time. This happens in real life all the time. I just want us to be clear. You feel me? And we'll pick it up, y'all. So, don't feel like we're gonna stay in this spot. But it's just a lot. And I really wanted to get it off and to talk about it because I think that's why he became so powerful. He became so powerful because you do these things that are extremely dark or they're extremely powerful within themselves, for all of those lives to be gone, and now for you to receive fame and then recognize the mechanism of that and decide that you're going to wield it yourself when you feel like it. You're going to use tragedy and stand on people's backs when you feel like it. That's mm, such a bad way to use such a really good gift. But let's get into it. I do want to play a couple of clips and then we'll move on because I just wanted to start out with this shit to get it off. All right. Okay. Gra, 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 gra. Okay.
Brother's favor of life. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but like statement something. Yeah, I mean, whatever statement, interview, this man interview.
Granted, I'm dealing with my own situation. I am caught up in a contentious child custody battle, and now this.
Okay, so this must be from an episode I haven't seen, so I don't even want to watch this part yet. But I'm going to just read what it says. Kalina says right before Diddy started calling her repeatedly begging for a statement, she asked him for $5,000 for her custody battle and he denied her. And that's what I be talking about. That's what I be talking about. Because people will end up in these dire straits and they'll need somebody to come and save them. And people like Diddy, or other people like Diddy, they come in and they offer you an opportunity, but with strings attached. Always with strings attached. And I remember I told y'all, not only did I feel like Kalina is tweaking, and she looks like she's tweaking during this interview, but also I understood the power that he had. And I told y'all that anybody that was speaking up on his behalf is either wrapped up in the sauce of it or extremely scared of him. Yeah, she's in the doc. She's in the very first clip is her sitting there, like, in the first few minutes after they talk about him, the first person that I feel like they got sound from, it might have just been when I first paid attention, but in like the first couple of minutes, she's one of the first people to speak on him. And the way she's moving tells me that her internal world is shaky. The way, yeah, her eyes, like the way she moves, the way her head moves around when she talks. I can tell she had, like, during the interview, there's a level of trying to keep track of yourself. And it's tiring energetically. So I could like see it on her when she's talking. But she's tweaking. And I think it's so sad because I think that people like Kalina are the girls that were already traumatized before they even got into the industry. So by the time they get into the industry, and she's talking about, I want to be like Puff, I want to be like Puff. And it's like the way Kalina is the perfect example of the way women view themselves in relation to men. Like, you really think that you're gonna be a man. You really think that you're gonna be male enough and cool enough to be a part of something with men. You think at some point you're gonna do enough to gain their respect and their validation. I understand. But what I understand truly is that no, maybe on the individual level, but you can't really earn maleness. Just like black people can't earn whiteness, women can't earn maleness. And so when it is time to sacrifice someone, ma'am, you will always be the first person to go. Every single one of the women that like want to be involved in like these male cliques and shit, like for instance, like the way India Love acts. Like, girl, there ain't no loyalty from those men to you. It's lessons we've just had to learn over the years because all of us have had, like, especially a lot of the male identified women like myself, like, you know, and I'm talking about like raised to be this way, right? And then break out of it. That's what I mean. Like, cause y'all know I don't play that. But like a part of breaking out of it is recognizing how you used to think and how you used to be and having empathy for why you felt that way. And now understanding that that's not real. And so now I have to deal with what's real, not what I thought was real. What I thought was real is that if I did enough, they would respect me in the same way. And what I learned is there was no amount of fucking women. There was no amount of having a certain amount of logical sense about myself and having like a very cut and dry, I'm not with the manipulation, and men often make you feel like as a woman, everything you do is a manipulation. So when I am very cut and dry and honest, and to still see how men will perceive me simply because men, and a lot of y'all, you just want to feel like how you feel is right. And you don't listen to anything. It's like somebody putting their fingers in their ear, la, 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 because they don't want to hear the truth of something. A lot of men respond to women in that way. And so I've just learned from no matter how much like a boy I could be internally and mentally, and how much like, because I say it all the time, I'm a nigga in my spirit, right? Because I am who I was raised to be, and I was raised by a very strong-minded man, and I was around along a lot of strong-minded, successful men. And so I have adopted some of those same qualities. Like a lot of women are the realest niggas in the room when they're about that. That's why Kim goes to jail. That's why Mona eats everybody up on the Joe Budden podcast. Because there are just, what I'm saying? There are women out there that are gonna out nigga the niggas. Every time. Every time. So I get it. I understand where it's coming from in the beginning, but I always understood that Diddy was somebody that applies so much pressure to people that he will stress you the fuck out. I get it. I totally get how somebody calling you 11 fucking times, having people knock on your door, how all of that can make you feel unsafe, like you easy to touch. And so if you can be called consistently, if somebody can stop at your house, isn't it easier to just do what he wants me to do? I'm already weak. I need the money. It just makes sense to get up here and say some bullshit and just hope that people with sense can tell that I'm tweaking in this interview, because it's hard for me to get up here and say that Dawn is a liar. But that would just be me assuming. I don't really know. Okay, so Kirk Burroughs, some of the people that 50 got to narrate this documentary, y'all, is really what makes it hard to not take it as facts. Because he got people that have been there from the beginning. So Kirk Burroughs is the person that went into business to even create Bad Boy. When Puffy first signed the paperwork and got the $10 million deal from Clive Davis to start Bad Boy as a subsidiary company of Uptown, right? He put it in Kirk's name and he put it in his mom's name, not in his own name, because he didn't want the people that died at that charity basketball game to come and get him for money. And while I know we live in a world now where, money is above everything, but the understanding of business in a way that has to make you cruel like that, has to make you like you're not responsible. Like that's what that spiritually insinuates. You're not responsible and you know you are. And you know you are. Because you oversold it. Because you gotta get it, right? Always applying too much pressure. Always applying too much pressure. Never knowing when to pull back. That's his issue.
On the east side, him and his mother, he didn't know what was going to happen.
Wasn't it? Okay, so Arista was the parent company. I thought Uptown was under Arista. And what they did was like cut off from Uptown to give him Bad Boy. That's what I thought it was. I'm sorry if it was Arista and not like that. I'm sorry. That's what I thought.
And I saw Janice question Sean. He's going into this music business thing. He just left school, and now this extreme tragedy has occurred. She's like, did he make the right decision? And I saw him put his hands on her.
And y'all, that's another thing. Excuse me. Whatever, like whatever. That's not the most important part. So it doesn't really matter. My point was he put the company in his partner's name and his mama's name. So this is to like add validity to the fact that if Kirk is saying something, Kirk knows what he's talking about. Then the other guy is Tim. Tim is the homeboy that grew up with him. His parents lived in the same building. I guess Janice owned this apartment building, and his parents lived on the first floor of that apartment building, and they grew up together. So when you have like both of those like people that are that close to him, you're gonna kind of take what they're saying as these are the people that would know. Yeah, this from the doc that 50 did. Yes, this is all from the documentary that 50 did. They just put it out. I was waiting at midnight and they didn't put it out at midnight. They must have put it out like, at 5 o'clock this morning or some shit when I was sleeping because I was up waiting on it. Okay. But I just watched the first episode. It was really good. But to me, it's what I always say. Like, y'all abuse children and then children grow up to be psychopaths. Y'all think that abusing children is going to make them tough, right? And make them be able to protect themselves. But really, you make them like bulls in a china shop. Like you make them fucked up. Like basically, you break whatever empathy they would have for other people. You break in them the thing that would tell them, okay, this is not the time to stump somebody out. So to me, and that's another thing. Like, so Janice is and this is, he slapped his mama. His friend said, he slapped his mama. He slapped her and called her a bitch and told her to shut the fuck up when she questioned him about what he was doing because I think she was aware of how that situation and him moving on into the music, being in the music industry. Like, I think she felt it. I think she was questioning him because y'all know how everybody always saying, oh, the Illuminati, y'all be having to sacrifice. You have it slightly right. I do think that his mom picked up on how he was using that to his advantage. And if you're willing to do that, then what else are you going to be willing to do in the industry that's already extremely exploitive and fucked up and dark, right? But his mom, I think, also is a part of the problem because I think she was overcompensating for him not having a father. So because his dad died, she overcompensates by showering him with like, clothes and making him like this little dandy type of kid, sending him to expensive Catholic schools. Like, he was in college. She doted on him in order to overcompensate, right? But then another way to overcompensate, because this is what y'all always would say, right? Women can't teach boys how to be men. That's what y'all would say, right? And so the mothers then adopt a mentality that they have to be rough and that they have to like basically abuse their sons, traumatize their sons so their sons are tough enough to deal with people out in the street. And I just kind of feel like that is a fucked up way of parenting. And I think more black people do it than they would like to admit. Just like last week when we was talking about how they were doing them, that little toddler, that little 3-year-old, 4-year-old little boy. I can't even tell you how old he was. But the adults at it seemed like a wedding and they were, all kind of pushing the little boys around in a circle, and everybody thinks that that's fun. And I'm gonna tell y'all, I think that most of y'all are really just roughhousing. But in a group of like 7 to 8 men doing that, some of y'all are being like, y'all are being PDF files. There's a level of roughhousing that PDF files like to do with children because it gives them access to children's bodies. And I know black people don't a lot of times black people stay away from understanding things like this. Like they want to put themselves in the dark about it. So they don't do any research. They don't watch any, I don't know about y'all, but I have seen documentaries. There's literally a documentary about I think it's on Hulu. This big guy took advantage of the lady, moves into the house and starts molesting the son. And one of the things that he would do is all of that roughhousing. And there were pictures and videos of them doing it. And this is how he gets access to touching the kid's body. It's like a buildup. So I understand that a lot of black men may not understand that. So when they're doing this from their standpoint, oh, we're making them tough. We're making them tough. But you have to remember that all of y'all are not the same. I know y'all look the same, but everybody's had different experiences growing up. And so as men, y'all have to be conscious of the fact that, yes, you may see it as roughhousing, but there might be at least 2 niggas in a group of 8 that are doing it so that they can touch those kids inappropriately. It's not in the ways that y'all think. Like, I think people always think that the shit is like, that like there's no subtlety to it. There's subtlety to this shit, y'all. If you pay attention, especially to adults that were the victims of this, it's subtleties, y'all. So like, and that's another thing about his relationship with Andre Harrell. So I think Puff was brutalized into manhood, period. Even if he wasn't in that way, she was beating him. And then she was also having these parties at her house where there are a lot of adults and the parties are packed and your kids are just running around. If everybody's drinking and the party is packed and you're trying to make sure that all of the heavy hitters in the party are having a good time and your kid is running around, it's highly likely that people would take opportunities like that to abuse your kids or your kid in this situation. I'm just saying, like let's be fucking for real. Let's be fucking for real. Like the parties and all of that and people being in your house like that, that's not safe for children. Yeah, people say that's what happened to Aretha. All you end up getting assaulted at the parties because the parties are happening at your house. Scrappy, right? So this is something that happens, right? And I'm not saying don't have parties, but my God, on today, can y'all not put y'all children in these situations where other adults have access to them and you don't necessarily know how safe those adults are? And honestly, I feel like you could never know until you notice that they don't do shit. Only inaction proves to me that you're not somebody that does shit like that. Right? Only you not doing it and continuing to not do it proves that to me. Anything else is, I'm not picking, oh, he got a family. Oh, he a nice man. No, none of that means anything to me. None of that means anything to me. But yeah, that's what happened to Layla Ali. Really? I never heard that. Wow. Wow. But yeah, I think, as I was listening to just the things that would happen, I think it's a conundrum. Like it's a lot of little things that add to how you could break somebody and turn them into this ghoul-like skeletal creature. Like look at the formation of his face. And this is not about being ugly. This is about being sunken in there. Like, and whenever somebody looks like a Skeletor, pay attention. Pay attention, y'all. But yeah, it's a lot of shit, and it's a lot of like power plays that I think are taking place. Like they were talking about how he was stealing all of the girls from everybody. Misa and Kim stole Misa from, well, not stole, but like Eric Sermon was fucking with Misa. They broke up. He starts applying pressure to Misa, beating on Misa. Kim was with Albie Shore. He shows up to the office every day and asking a question every day and all of this shit, right? Applying pressure till he get Kim. So he was, he was going around doing things that I feel like essentially showcase energetic understanding of things, right? Like understanding the energy of me taking your girl, or me getting your girl from up under you, how that looks to other people. Energetically, what does that mean? If I can get your girl and you was more famous than me, then that means that you ain't that great. And I'm probably better than you. Like, yeah, you more famous than me, but I'm probably better than you because I could get your girl. That's what that means. That's what that means, y'all. So yeah, I feel like it's a lot of things going on, and I don't know, like a lot of it just makes me sad. It just feels like a lot of pain, a lot of dread.
People know about this
Uh, play this last one and we'll move on from here.
long.
Yes, energetically besting another man, especially one that you look up to, is it, like I said, is it stepping on their energy and pushing off from it.
Long-standing feud that you've had with Sean Combs.
GMA Monday morning.
So what brought you to this project?
50 Cent on his highly anticipated new docuseries, Sean Combs, The Reckoning.
How did you go about getting the footage?
The Robin Roberts exclusive.
If Sean Combs watches this, what do you think he's going to feel?
Monday morning, The Interview, and never-before-seen video of Sean Combs. First only on Good Morning America.
Oh, they didn't play the clip? They didn't play the clip? That's
People
annoying.
know about this.
It says 50 addresses his history. I thought they played the clip in this one. My bad. But I think basically, child 50 can say what he wants to. 50's petty. But me, I personally love when the villains fight. But I don't think this, I think on some level 50 thinks this might lend him some favor. And it may. It may end up lending him some favor, but I think he's petty enough that it doesn't even matter if it lends him favor. The fact that he could be the one to help people view Diddy correctly, right? Here it is. This is the one I wanted to get to. Cassie wanted to be with him. Juror says as Diddy's verdict gets revisited. So this is the thing that really makes me upset because again, like these are things I thought people just understood. When people are in abusive relationships, they are having a drug habit experience. You know how drug addicts do drugs and it doesn't matter how bad they start to look, they still want the drug? It doesn't matter how much the drug is harming them. They want the drug. They're chasing the high of the first time that they had the drug. I think y'all trap people in society and then tell them it's their fault that they get trapped in the society. I can separate these two people and say Cassie was chasing the glitz and the glam. Cassie was chasing stardom and luxury. And I can also feel like, so chasing things that are put on pedestals in our society make you what? Less of a victim when somebody decides to victimize you? When people go back to abusive relationships, it is not only because they are scared, but because they are addicted to the cycle of abuse. You have a person that is applying pressure to you that makes you feel like it's easier to just give in and give them what they want, especially once they've beat down your self-confidence and made you feel like you're nothing without them. It's a mental thing that happens, and it happens not even the way y'all think. It happens slowly. It happens over time. And there's a lot of love bombing and consciously putting you in situations to where if you had rules, right? If you had ideas of, certain tests that would prove if a person was a good person, Diddy would figure out what your tests were and put you in a situation or have you spend time with him where you see him do all of these things that make you feel like, oh my God, he really is a good guy. Everybody's lying about him. It's very easy. It's very, very easy to love bomb people and give them things that they didn't have and show them things they've never seen and have poor people or people adjacent to poor, like right above poor, awed and wowed by what millions and millions of dollars or sometimes even hundreds of thousands of dollars can do for you. Nope, if that's the case, they are both victims. They are victims to someone. They are victims to someone. Yes. Yes. That does not negate their own responsibility to how they victimize other people. In this situation, Cassie hasn't harmed anybody but herself. Anybody that mentions the prostitutes that were paid, the grown men prostitutes that were paid, please shut the fuck up. Stop it. Just shut the fuck up and stop it. Okay? Diddy is the person that enacts the game. The person that is creating the board that y'all are playing the game on. That's the person that's in power. It doesn't matter that she wants to be with him. And everybody gets paid for everything they do. That doesn't mean anything. Like, all of these things mean nothing. Diddy is no victim to me. Once you abuse, and that's why I said he's a victim to someone. He's a victim to his mom. Like, he's a victim of whatever she did to him. He's a victim of whatever, whoever else might have did something to him in childhood. And that's something that's responsible on that end. Meaning that if he's a victim to somebody, that's their situation to deal with. That and this are not the same thing. Two things can be true. This is how you learn how we get here so we can stop doing some of this shit. So if we understand from Diddy's story and from a lot of other people's stories that being abusive towards your children does not make them good people, it makes them psychopaths, then maybe we could parent better. Because we're dealing right now on social media with stories of people that were doing the same shit that Janice is doing to Puffy as a child. This is not to make him a victim. This is to become aware of this pattern of behavior and how this harms the community and how it ends up harming everyone. When you have the mentality that abuse and physical violence and traumatizing boys into masculinity is the way we should be living our lives. That's the way a lot of Black people think. And I want y'all to see the connection between that mindset, his childhood, how he became an adult, how y'all value money, and how that allows for all of this really dark, fucked up, humiliating, soul-crushing shit. Soul-crushing shit. But as long as everybody can party and have luxury items, it's all good, right? Cassie is only responsible in this situation to herself. And y'all can try to make she and Kim Porter adversaries all you want to. That's bullshit. Abusive men create triangulation. I don't give a fuck about Cassie and Kim's dynamic. Because to me, whatever their dynamic was based in both of theirs abuse and triangulation in a relationship with who? Puffy. Puffy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, do I have moderators? Y'all be in the comments and, do your thing because I don't have, I want to focus on the show. But I really wanted to get this out because people's mentality about abuse and how women end up in these situations. Y'all, the system that we're in that allows for men to hoard wealth and hold it over everybody's head and say, if you want this opportunity, you have to do this for it. I need for y'all to understand the person that's asking you to do that for the opportunity is the problem. Not the person that does it and falls for the trick or falls for the labyrinth that has been put forth. Like, you have to blame the person that intentionally sets out to harm. He intentionally set out to harm her. She did not intentionally set out to harm anybody or herself. And I want to be very cut and dry and clear about that, because the way y'all talk about this situation is problematic within itself. A person has to make a decision in order to hurt somebody, all on their own. All on their own. A person can lay before me, y'all, in the street and offer themselves up to me to harm. I still have to be able to do it to them. I still have to be able to do it to them. And I don't know about y'all, but the thing I feel like on some level that makes me a good person is the fact that it would be hard for me to hurt somebody for no reason. I physically could not just openly harm someone for no reason. In my fury, in my anger of injustice, maybe. In safety of myself and others, maybe. But somebody like a woman that's laying out herself open to me in a sexual situation, and I decide that I am going to exact harm on her, that's a decision I'm making. And if I'm a good person, the person that's offering themselves up to me, I'm going to turn to them and say, no, not like this. If I decide to take advantage and harm them because they offered themselves to me, I'm still the monster. I'm still the monster. And I just need y'all to be very clear, because y'all seem to be confused and befuddled. And also, your inability to have empathy for yourself means that whenever things like this happen, you have no empathy for other people. I see it over and over and over again. You don't have empathy for somebody that's a victim of abuse because you don't have any real empathy for yourself. You blame yourself for your own abuse. Whatever abuse happened to you, somebody told you that it's your fault and you were dumb because you let it happen. And so now, whenever you see people going through something where they have been victimized, you tell yourself they did it to themselves without the real understanding of what it takes to harm somebody. And how it is an individual decision that the person doing the harm is making in their body, in their mind, and in their spirit. Because the thought to harm somebody is going to go through all of those different spaces before they decide to act. So understand, people don't just do shit like what Diddy did. Nah, that's a concerted, intentional effort. Be fucking for real. Now, let's move on. And we'll talk about more of that later on in the week. Now, I wanted to get into the Masika of it all. You know, I think it's so interesting when women who are, and I'm gonna just be very cut and dry for lack of better terms in this situation. Women that are willing to sell themselves to the highest bidder, no matter the circumstance, like Masika here. Because I remember often Masika says some of the most slut-shamiest, weirdest conservative shit up out of her mouth on social media. And it's so weird, right? And I don't know why that is, but it's like people that actually do the thing the most are usually the ones telling everybody else they're wrong for doing the same shit. Has anybody noticed that? Like, Masika, you do some of the hoest shit, hun. And then you get online and you judge other people. It's the weirdest thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Within your life, like the choices that you make, right? Because I've seen her online with that conservative, I'm married, I'm a wife, and, you know, having a family is the ideal thing and all of that shit that y'all push on people when y'all are in those spaces, right? When you marry for 5 fucking minutes. Now you have a grandstand to tell all of the other women how they're less than because they haven't been chosen by some dusty ass, dry lip fuck nigga. That's what y'all be doing to the girls, and that's what Masika was doing. And then, as if like some type of serendipitous type of shit, y'all, some very serendipitous shit for Masika to take part in humiliating Hazel E and end up in the exact same situation as her years later. Like, Masika really thought she was better than Hazel because Hazel wasn't as conventionally attractive And Young Berg disrespected the fuck out of Hazel E. And then Masika decided to go and be in a relationship with him, low key as a nanny boo boo, right? Like, yeah, ugly bitch, I got the nigga and he gonna respect me more than he ever respected you. All for him to like get y'all kicked off the show because of a domestic violence situation. It's one of those situations where you play pussy and you get fucked. Yeah. Yeah. You play stupid games, you get stupid prizes. You fuck around and you find out. Because if a man will disrespect any woman like that, he will disrespect you like that. That is a just a basic rule of thumb. Like just a basic rule of life, bitch. It has not proved me wrong yet. But Masika, like there is such a I don't know. Like there's something about whenever situations happen like this, right? Like y'all give me some words that if you know what I'm trying to like translate, right? Like, oh my God, girl, you thought you were so much better than that girl. And now y'all are both like 45 fucking YNs for clout on the internet. It's wild. It's wild. It's so wild. So this is what she said, y'all. Hold up. Let me move my comments over here so I can see y'all. Hey, Jennifer. Masika said, I'm so thankful and grateful for everything God has put in my life and everyone God has blessed me and my family with. I can't lie, my faith has been weary, but God keeps showing me that even in tragedy, he will never leave or forsake me. Lord, forgive me for ever doubting you or being ungrateful. Mm. Mm. The ability to disempower yourself through religion bypasses accountability for your choices, right? Because are you saying that God is responsible for this shit show of a situation? I think not. Bino, my nigga. Girl, at the funeral, acting a fool. We got more to get into, y'all. Please, please, don't go anywhere. Like the video. Like the video, girl. Okay, and so Bambi, boom. I remember thinking to myself, Bam, no. Because there are just certain rules. Too many chains. Why are you talking like that? Why can't you control your liquor? They're like these are just rules, y'all. Y'all gotta pay attention to these things, man. If a nigga can't control his liquor, he doing it on purpose. I feel like niggas weaponize everything. You have to pay attention to how niggas will weaponize anything, even them being drunk. Because see, the more niggas are drunk, the more they can like say, oh, it's not my fault. I ain't mean to do it. I was drunk. Now you trying to help a nigga go to rehab and shit. You Amy Winehouse.
You want? Huh? You got everything you want? You got everything you want? Huh? You got everything you want?
I don't know. Like, I guess that was when she was with Ray Face. Bambi's ex-fiance, Ray Face. All you need is a little money. She for the streets. I don't even like Masika. And Ray Face, please shut the fuck up. If she's for the streets, you're for the gutter. If she's for the streets, you're for the gutter, nigga. Okay, you're a sewage. You're a sewage, nigga. I hate when y'all do this because y'all are like so obvious, right? Y'all are attaching yourselves to these well-known women. We don't know you. We don't care about you. We're annoyed of you. And you attach yourselves to thirsty women that apparently have no discernment or refuse to listen to it because they're listening to a man in their head, so they don't listen to the woman in their womb telling them shit. Ooh, clip it. Ooh, clip it. And they get into relationships with clout chasey ass niggas that use money to impress them in order to get them. And then once the woman is no longer satisfied with the relationship, now all of a sudden she's for the streets and you use her as a stepping stool. What did we just finish talking about with Diddy? Now you're attached to a woman. This is making you more famous energetically. And then you get online and humiliate her. She don't give a fuck. But you getting online and saying she's for the streets, like, to me, what that feels like in my body when men do that, it's almost like some type of spiritual rape. Whenever they expose women to other men in such a manner, right? When they say things like this, she for the streets, all of that, like it's almost like open invitation open season, open invitation to assault this woman in any way that you choose to. I, as a man, am sending out the dog whistle to all the other dogs out there. This woman can be misused. This woman can be mistreated. She made me mad. She hurt my feelings. She's not giving me clout like I wanted. And so now I'm going to sick all of the other men on her so they can abuse her, because nothing will make me happier than to find out that one of the homeboys drugged her and got her on video. This is what he's doing. So there's that. And they have no discernment, and so they let him, and so they let him. Let's continue. There's more. And this is another thing. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this?
So what? We gonna be in San Diego tonight. Me and Bay.
You're not coming tonight.
Yes, I am.
He told her she not coming tonight. At every turn, they will humiliate you. That was a small little humiliation, because you thought y'all was going somewhere together. Talking about we, like you fucking French, and that nigga said you ain't going nowhere, you ain't coming. It's crazy to me how y'all let these niggas play in y'all face. Look what Erica put. Y'all look what Erica put. She's a pigeon. She's a pigeon rolling down the street. Jamie's melting. Okay, shout out to my girls. Okay, Jamie's melting. Let's watch the rest.
Like I said, we gonna be in there.
No, she not.
No, she
First
not.
of all,
I'm going to work, babe.
first of all, I'm busy tonight, so I can't come, motherfucker. But I might change my mind.
Y'all, she wasn't with her husband. Like, I want y'all to be clear on that. They were not together. They were not together. They were not together. They might have been actually in that marriage for maybe 2 years. Them people was not really together. Just because they were still married. So yeah, she used it to make herself look like a victim, because that's what weird hoes do. Not to say that she wasn't really, because I do feel like the pain came from a real place. Like, the pain comes from a real place, and then you just take that little bit of something and then you pull it out. You pull it out and you pull it out, and then you have people film it, with their meta glasses and shit. And it's weird. It's weird because you're making a public spectacle of your grief in a way that doesn't benefit anybody but you, and it comes off as disingenuous, like your grief isn't real. That's what it comes off as. But I feel like, that's some fuck ass shit for you to do, but also, like, I don't give a fuck about that nigga, but let's move on. This is them in the studio, I guess. Y'all ready for this one? Because now she's in the studio. Because I swear the Carly Red model of woman is what they do. Like Hazel E, Masika, the Carly Red model. When I was young, I tried to act like I wasn't the whore that I actually am. And now that I'm older, I'm just going to go ahead and commit to the shtick, right? I'm going to chase the young men. I'm going to have a good time. I'm going to look beautiful. I'm going to be beautiful. I'm going to let these niggas disrespect me. I'm going to get my little money out of it and move on to the next one. Always searching for someone to give me the love that I haven't figured out how to give myself yet. Oh my gosh, she's baby ass singing again. She's baby ass singing again, y'all. Oh my God, y'all, look at her. She's like posing. Ew. Ew, 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 ew. Ew, 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 ew. But what this looks like is he's paying for studio time. What does Bino do? Is he an artist, you guys? I don't know him. I only ever met him because he was fucking with Krishan Rock and said that she let the baby roll off the bed and didn't care. Talking about neglecting him gonna make him stronger. Sure, Janice.
Up that fast and look different. You look good as hell. Is that easy?
Girl. Yeah. That looks fun. That looks really fun. Oh, girl, this is what the hoes are doing. Oh, wait, is this Bino's baby mother? Okay, so Hood Trophy Bino's baby mama drops bombshell. Says she, Bino, and his ex got herpes. Claims she's living her truth and insists any woman would still choose Bino. Wow. well. Let's listen to the delusions.
All over here, literally protecting the bitch, and then why y'all keep saying herpes this, herpes that? Bitch, she got it, bitch. Like what? Bitch, I'm living my truth, you dumbass bitches. I ain't living my shit. Defending the next bitch. As if the fuck? Trust and believe. If Tadashi wanted you bitches are gonna go. Dummy. Dummy. Y'all.
Yuck.
Trust and believe. If Tadashi wanted you bitches are gonna go.
You know, I think that's so interesting when girls say stuff like this. It's like, no, ma'am. Not. I mean, I guess the people in your life. You know what? You're right. The people in your life. Yes. But the internet? Like us? Girl, us? I was just walking past my phone and heard you say, girl, I was just walking past and I just had to stop because I was like, wait, who? Who, us? Oh, no. Okay. She meant her people. She meant her people would still choose a nigga with herpes that's been with Krishan Rock.
Dummy.
Girl, the only person, she talking to herself. The funny part is she's looking, the same thing we see, that's what she see. You looking at yourself saying dummy. Because you're the dummy, bitch. You're the dummy, bitch. I'm sorry. Ain't nothing dumber than being online screaming and hollering at other women about how they would want the herpes infested fuck nigga that you got. Like, whoa. Be in that delusion on your own. Don't make such assumptions. It's okay. Like, I'm glad you being real about your shit. I congratulate you on your honesty, I guess. I mean, you know, don't tell nobody. You know what I'm saying? Don't be lying. Tell everybody what you got going on. Tell everybody what he got going on. We appreciate you, you know, telling us the truth that this nigga got herpes. That's important information for the community, you know, since he's out here. But Tamar, I don't know why you think that makes the rest of us dumb, because we see issue here.
I mean, you bitches gonna see money in the chain and go, bitch. What are you talking about? Most bitches go. That's why all you bitches done win. FLA done win, bitch. What are you talking about? Trust and believe. If Tadashi wanted you bitches.
So is he paying for puss? Is that what's happening? That's what it's giving. Oh, he's paying for puss. Because we didn't know him either. Oh, so him and Ray Face are like y'all are doing the same shit, right? Y'all are fucking with these women and getting clout from fucking with these women? Let me see. What's this? No, that's not. We don't want to do that. Okay, hold up here.
Anyway, yes.
Masika is now justifying moving on with Hood Trophy. You know, they keep calling him a Hood Trophy. Just days after burying her husband despite posting deep emotional tributes as if they were still together.
I talk to my mother-in-law all the time. Who moved on fast? 2 years is too fast? 2 years is too fast? It's so many things that I'm just not going to say out of respect for Jamar. So I'm not going to do it. Are you retarded? Okay. All right. Soraya, named after fucking wine. Weird ass bitch. Girl, you waited for that funeral to happen so you can be with that boy proudly. Let's unpack this, you fucking idiot. So I was in it wasn't a public relationship, but I was in a relationship that went public at the end of 23 when I was separated then. And I've been separated for 2 years. So I waited for a funeral to do what? Like, are you okay? Are you cool? Or no. And then you want to ask, wait, so why was I crying? Because we were separated? That means I wanted him to die? Are you okay? Are you fucking stupid? Because my heart is fucking broken. Because my kids will never see their dad again. Because the person that I fucking talk to every day, whether I'm happy or sad or mad, whether we're getting along or arguing, is no longer here. So when I thought that I would be dealing with our kids for the rest of our lives, Christmas, we try to celebrate together. Thanksgiving. What are y'all okay? I'm not okay.
The way, I'm about to say something, but I'm gonna leave it alone.
Fucking not. I'm far from okay. What was the dynamic before he passed? Great. We had just taken the baby to Disney for her birthday. We just took the kids to Ruth Chris for dinner. We did a family photo shoot where me and the girls were fairies. He was a damn gnome. We were on FaceTime with him less than 2 hours before the accident. Just because we were separated and no longer living together as a couple, I'm not supposed to be sad. Like, this man comes to my house all the time to bring the kids, to take out the trash, to play with the kids. Like, are y'all okay? I never acted like anything, baby. I've never acted like anything. I'm sharing memories that I know he would want to be shown. I'm not acting like a damn thing. I'm taking it day by day. And I'm going to continue to live my life. And I'm going to continue to grieve however I fucking grieve. From one day to the next, it could be completely different. I don't fucking know. I did pop out with another man while he was... Anyway. Yes. I talk to my mother-in-law all the time. Who moved on fast? 2 years is too fast? 2 years is too fast? It's so many things that I'm just not going to say out of respect for Jamar. So I'm not going to do it. Are you like...
Right. What things don't you want to say about Jamar that would tell us that that fairy tale you trying to paint wasn't real? But outside of that, they weren't together. That's to be understood. I do believe she had moved on prior to that. Like, to me, that's not an issue. Her popping out with a new dude is not the problem. Who she popped out with is the problem for me. Okay? I don't give a fuck about her moving on, from that relationship. To me, it's almost like these weird ass niggas that's probably somewhere doing something illegal. They get a little bread and now they're trying to buy themselves into the entertainment industry by fucking with these women. Like, there is a group of women that I guess, you buy them nice things, you give them purses, and they will deal with you being an idiot, I guess. I don't know. But I've always understood that I would rather get it myself because energetically, I don't want to have to talk. Like, talking to stupid niggas, mush mouth ass niggas, and automatically assessing their sexist tone, even though I know I'm smarter than them, like picking up on that, knowing that all you want from me is sex and you're about to try to like game me. And then when I don't acquiesce to the game, you're going to get mad. Like, I already know what you're going to do, right? I already know what you're going to do, money. And I just kind of feel like I don't have time for that. I'd rather get it myself. Like, I'm so glad that people fought for feminism so I could work and shit. Girl, I'm so glad. I am so glad. Thank you, okay, to the Google guys for YouTube. Thank you, okay? Because my God, on today, I wish the fuck I would sit and talk to niggas like this for more than 2 seconds so that they could buy me some shit. Bye.
The reason I stopped talking to her, to that trash ass bitch, is because when a nigga Fetty Wap was
the only reason he talking about her like that is because he feels validation from other people now to talk about her like that. Because the last time he was talking about a woman disrespectfully, he brought his bitch ass online to apologize and act like he had more sense than that. And now once again, you somewhere fighting through your teeth calling a woman a bitch. Yeah, you're a fucking follower. Weak ass niggas. Niggas is weak.
Out of jail or whatever. It's during COVID or whatever. Fetty Wap at her house. So she come get me, trying to get me to rob the nigga. She like, the nigga got his chain on him, he got his jewelry, I got his guns, you ain't gotta worry about nothing. So I'm like, man, I ain't finna rob Fetty Wap. I ain't finna take nothing from that man. Like, he seemed like, I met him, he seemed like a player to me. You feel me? So I ain't wanna do it. So she get mad. Bitch ass nigga, you scary, you puss ass nigga. But bitch, I ain't scared. Like, why I'ma rob this man for? Like, you wildin', bitch. That hoe that hoe got a problem, bro. And cause I ain't wanna rob Fetty Wap for her, she started talking shit, so I never fuck with her again. And I gave my bro her number, and he started. The reason I stopped.
So did he just say that she wanted him to rob Fetty Wap for her? Is that what he just said? I had to go turn my heater on, y'all. It's cold.
Fucking that bitch. You feel me? But man, that hoe is sick, bro. That hoe is a psycho. That hoe really came out here playing on everybody's top, acting like, just on some act like, for my bro died, he wasn't fucking with that bitch in no type of way. And she know that.
How would you know? How would you know, weird ass nigga?
That hoe know she, like, I understand, like, shit.
Oh, I forgot them niggas had a group chat where they all talk shit about her in the group chat. Like a bunch of bitches. I forgot about that.
Changing people past or whatever, but that shit right there, two-faced, you feel me? Two-faced. She ain't give a fuck at all. But like, when she came out here, like, I pick her up She out here at the club. She called me, Ray Face, come pick me up. So I'm like, all right, bet, I'm gonna go pick the bitch up. So I pick her up. I'm thinking she like with all her family and shit. So when I pull up, it's just her. I'm like, damn, it's just you and me, 4 in the morning. Like, all right, cool. So like, I've been fucking you and I done fucked you in the past. So I ain't feel comfortable doing it, even though a bro passed and I ain't feel like that was solid. So fucking that bitch. You feel me? But man, that hoe is sick, bro. That hoe is a psycho. That hoe really came out here playing on everybody's top, acting like, you know, just on some act like from.
This nigga wanna be like, I hate the fact that I don't even talk about this nigga. Cause I feel like he just want attention. Like, you just want to be important. Like, whatever toxic, stupid nigga you grew up fantasizing that you would become. Like, that's what it's given. And I really hate it. That's what it's given. And I really hate it. Like,
First, I was told that
Masika is a 304. I'm sorry. What was that not clear? Like, how old are you? Have you been here since the beginning? Because if you've been here since Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, it's always given, I don't have a real job. I kind of sort of fuck rich men for money. And listen, I don't see a problem with that. I feel like there's a profession for that. I just think it's, he's definitely a 304. He's going around fucking all of the girls. I mean, she's more famous than him now. So she's more famous as a woman than he. Man, we don't know. But she's been that. And it just started out when you're younger, you can get the older guys with money. And then when you become older, now you're getting the younger guys with money. And it's just flipped. But she's always been, she's always been. I was being sarcastic. Girl, I didn't perceive it bad. Like, I didn't perceive it like, because y'all know I don't like the 304 thing, but I didn't perceive it like that. But I wanted you to know, like, girl, yeah. In case you didn't know, girl, yeah. Since the beginning.
I can't grieve because we are separated. Then I was told.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Be a hoe. Don't be a dumb hoe. That's what, don't be a dumb hoe. Don't be out here playing yourself out. Be a smart one. Because everybody's selling their time. Everybody's selling their energy. What's the difference? We all have varying levels of which we could deal. Just like I said, it never was even in my forefront. That's just my level. I can't deal with that. I can't sit up here trying to make sense of the shit that come out of niggas' mouths that don't really talk. I don't know how they do it. But I feel like there's an obvious market for beautiful women who have the energy and the patience to talk to men that can't really articulate out of their mouths.
That exactly. Everyone knows me and my husband had been separated. That was no secret. Now, we were co-parenting, raising our daughter, both daughters. He's been very active in Kari's life since she was 9. I mean, since she's 9 now, since she was 4. I planned every single detail, everything. None of them niggas helped me.
See, you said she's definitely a smart one. That is her job, Kendra. I think that on like basement level hoe, she's smart. She's smart to the basement level hoe, right? But see, this is how I imagine smart hoes. Smart hoes get like dividends eventually. If you are young selling coochie to rich men, if you don't have something to show for it, you weren't as smart as you thought you were. If you are surrounded still by men that you can't really depend on like that, still not that smart. If you end up sharing dick with Krishan Rock, that's not giving smart at this age. Because she's at the age where I feel like there's a certain level to your hold'em that should have taken place. And we shouldn't see you down here with the likes of these types of guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. But like, if she was smart in her hold'em, we wouldn't see her down here with these niggas. Yes, Marlo Hampton. That That is a smart hoe. Marlo Hampton, yes. You don't never see her down here with nobody degrading the little bit of, you know what I'm saying, social standing that she do have. You know what I'm saying? Energetically, it's about what you have to do. Drea, smart hoe. Yes. I love y'all for real. Okay? Because ultimately, a lot of times, y'all, I want y'all to have empathy for these women because let's be very clear. That's always the option. When you're growing up, we all know energetically, spiritually as women, we all know that we have a choice here. And it might be framed differently. So like if you come from a more fluent lifestyle, a more, stable lifestyle, marriage, a man, that shit. That is the choice, right? That is a choice where you're going to let somebody else be financially responsible for you. Or you're going to use your body. But whatever it is, it's your womanhood that is going to get somebody to financially support you. That's one choice. The other choice is all of the, those of us that go to school and, do the intellect, or those of us that work the jobs, right? We're going to have the work ethic. Because there's some of us that can't handle that. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we all know, like, at the beginning that we're going to be given a choice of how we going to handle, like, our womanhood, and if we're going to be, like, offering it to the highest bidder. And I think, at some point we be making decisions like, yeah, I'm not about to sell my coochie. I'm gonna figure out another way. And there are other women who are like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna sell this coochie. These niggas want it. They should buy it. Okay. And I feel like that's a way. That's a way. That is a way. And I feel like as a young woman, I always understood that I was having that. That was my choice. My choice was to either use my body, you know what I'm saying? Or I was gonna use my mind. Use your body or use your mind. And once I started using my mind, I realized that me being beautiful was an asset to me. And then I started feeling like, well, I don't have to fuck anybody, but if you like me being around because I'm beautiful, I'm not going to deny it. And I'm going to also see that as a benefit. See?
As far as the photographer, I don't know any fucking photographers in Houston. I asked Gayface if he could get me a photographer for the balloon.
Right. That's what I'm saying. When I got older, then I realized both. Right. But when I was younger, you know what I'm saying? I felt like I had to split myself. If that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Release. Not the funeral. The balloon release. So he put me in the group chat. First, I was told that I can't grieve because we are separated, with a photographer who, again, I asked to come to the balloon release. Now, the next day, I did ask him if he...
That's a good point. Some people don't start off with a choice. Life kind of picks for them. And really sometimes they fucking parents, okay?
take pictures of the family beforehand, before the funeral. I wanted pictures of the family. I didn't want pictures at the funeral, actual funeral. I didn't know that he was going to stay and take pictures for the funeral. At first, I didn't know. I didn't know if he was still there. But the fact that the
Now this nigga's a photographer?
photographer knew my husband and I was honestly worried about him because it was so emotional. I didn't even know he was going to be there. And then you got these weird ass niggas talking about she didn't cry at all. First of all, I don't have to cry. But second of all, I was crying my eyes out. And I've cried every single fucking day. I've cried more than I've ever cried in my entire life these past 33 days than I have in 33 years. With a photographer who, again, So the sick thing to me is the fact that all these blogs.
Because people are questioning your integrity because before you did shit like pretended like somebody assaulted you and had everybody on the internet worrying about your fucking safety and it was promo. Yeah, I've had enough. Let's see. Was there anything else from this shit show of a situation? Because it is in fact a shit show of a situation. I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure. You got to go through all of it, girl, because I be mad when I forget. Okay. All right. That's good. Let me so I can slurp, so slide back to where I need to be. All right. Ooh, where do we go from here? Let's go to Funky Dineva and Tamar.
Are you aware?
All right, because when Funky Dineva talks, I'm gonna go run to the restroom because I need to load waiting room music in here.
Aware of what really happened to you?
No, I'm not.
Or can you talk about what
I can
happened?
talk about it, but I'm not aware of what really happened to me.
Yeah.
All I know is that I went to a friend's birthday.
I'm sorry, bitch. What? Did you just say in the comments that Masika is 33? No, she's not. Girl, that's a lie. No, she's not.
Party. I gave a friend a birthday party.
Mm-hmm. Are you aware of what really happened to you?
No, I'm not.
Or can you talk about what
I can
happened?
talk about it, but I'm not aware of what really happened to me.
I think she was lying from the very beginning. The reason why I feel like she was lying from the very beginning is because when we saw her in video the night after this at an event, she didn't have any swelling. She didn't have any bruising. And how would one be able to fix your teeth so quickly? I feel like after they went out that night, she just knew people saw her with Mendices and was worried about being seen with Mendices and decided to throw something out there to give her to give her like a sympathy card. And I think that when she texts Funky Dineva about, Dr. Heavenly, like, girl, you don't have Dr. Heavenly's phone number? Girl, please. Okay. So like, it's just a lot of shit that made me feel like she set that up because it was coming out like that exact day that all of that shit was coming out about Mendices and her. It was like, so wait, Tamar, you fucking Mendices? And right before that was happening, you know what I'm saying? Right before that was revving up, y'all. Then they drop, then we find out about, bloody, I woke up in a pool of blood. My teeth was missing. And we was like, what? And then it was her and Funky Dineva. And then we saw the trailer that came out and saw that Funky Dineva was in that trailer. And the thing that Mendices. So then we're all confused. Then we're like, okay, so wait, is it for the, and I remember I watched it. And when I watched his response to, after she had let people think that he possibly could have done something to her so she could drag it out for more attention, more drama, right? I told y'all that what he was saying was that she tried to make it seem like she wasn't fucking him, but she was. Now, the thing I didn't know, I assumed that he didn't know if they were actually fucking, but he did. But he felt uncomfortable. He felt uncomfortable that she would do shit. And this is what people who cheat do, right? They'll go out with their friend and then they'll have who they're cheating with come with their friend. So it looks like a group situation. Nobody sees you with just any one person. And whoever you are actually in a relationship with can just say, oh, I was with my homeboy. So that's what Mendices is going around doing. That's what it sounds like to me. Mendices was with his homeboy. He was, when they went to that party that was supposed to be for Funky Dineva, but it wasn't. It was actually because Tamar just wanted to be seen out somewhere. Yeah. Mendices was right behind, but didn't want to be seen. Okay. So after Quinn said the lady walked up, he let her go upstairs because her and Mendices was making out in a car. Her and Mendices have shown up to like dates together more than once. And I'm going to let, Quentin tell y'all, hold up, let me let her finish. But she was lying from the very beginning. And this is what I be talking about. People that want to be a victim, need to be a victim. They're very dangerous individuals to be around. That's why it's so important to not lie on your kids. I promise y'all, if you don't do nothing, if something ever happens in your household where your kid comes to you and says that another adult did something to them or somebody did something to them and you ask for that child to lie to protect everybody, they are going to build up a ball of resentment inside of their body that makes them do shit like this. I promise y'all, that's the connection to me. To me, when you don't believe the kid when they're a kid, they grow up crying wolf because nobody believed them when they really needed to be believed. And so to me, Tamar is somebody that recognizes that victimhood and being able to use sympathy because she didn't get it when she really needed it. So now she uses it as a weapon. Victimhood. Using victimhood as a weapon. using victimhood to shield you. Whenever somebody can never really see their own part in some shit and they always trying to make themselves a victim and somebody always doing something to them, even though they're the most volatile, yeah.
All I know is that I went to a friend's birthday party. I gave a friend a birthday party.
And that right there, why are you acting like you gave him a birthday party like this man that makes $50,000 a month off YouTube needs you to throw him a fucking birthday party? Funky Dineva floats around like a problematic rich white lady. He says what he wants, and you see him in rich places. Okay? The man don't need you to throw him a party. The man parties on a regular basis. The man goes out and has a good time and drinks and dances and talks to people on a regular basis. That's a regular night for him. He didn't need you to do that. So the fact that you needed to insert that you even did something for him as if he's betrayed you in some way, when really what you were doing was using him to cheat. You were using him to cheat, but you can't be honest about that, right? So now you got to make it seem as if you were doing something for him when really he was doing something for you.
Hello.
You thought was your friend.
Well, we ain't even gonna touch on that.
Yeah.
I came home like I would normally do. Well, you kind of know the spiel. I come home, I'll take a shower, I'll wash my face, I'll come back in the kitchen. We'll have, have.
Will have.
More.
Hello. You thought was your friend.
Well, we ain't even gonna touch on that.
Yeah.
Have more cocktails.
I know how it goes.
Or have some food.
Yeah.
And congregate until everybody leaves. And the last person left. And one of my friends was just a little too intoxicated to drive, which is fine. My third bedroom is very iconic.
You always like, yo.
I don't know how your third bedroom became iconic when, a lot must be happening lately, Tamar, because didn't you just move into that place? Because you wasn't feeling safe nowhere?
Have more cocktails.
I know how it goes.
Or have some food.
Yeah.
And congregate until everybody leaves.
Yeah, no, she doesn't have any friends. And the only other person, and that's why she's acting like it was a group of people there. She had her one homeboy that was there with her and Quentin when they walk into the party. So if he was there, Mendici's and Mendici's homeboy. These are people to help y'all do whatever it is y'all are there to do.
And the last person left, and one of my friends was just a little too intoxicated to drive, which is fine. My third bedroom is very iconic.
Like, yo, L, you ain't got a job. You can stay right here.
Yeah, it's very iconic. So, actually, me and Brian was texting each other while I was watching Real Housewives of Orange County, and I fell asleep. And when I woke up to my...
Like, yo, L, you ain't got...
And shaking me like, Tay, are you okay? Are you okay? What's going on? I'm calling an ambulance. I was like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
Why, if you have teeth missing and blood, you don't know what happened to you. You don't want them to call an ambulance? Why? You have time? Hide the drugs. You have time? Like, what's the problem? Like, why would you not want to call them if you went to sleep, laying down, texting somebody, and woke up in a pool of blood with your, it doesn't even make sense. You made it seem like you woke up on a floor somewhere, and now you're telling me that somebody woke you up as if you were laying in a bed? The way I would think somebody assaulted me if I didn't remember how I got like that, I would automatically want to call the police. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And then when I came to, it was like teeth and blood all over the place and shaking me like, Tay, are you okay?
Don't remember anything.
I do not. I do not.
Scary.
I do not.
So did you look at the friend like, hey, did you do something to me?
No, that person wasn't capable. That person was mortified.
That person isn't capable. How do you, girl?
Yeah. Don't remember anything.
I do not. I do not.
Scary.
L'Oreal doesn't believe her. Okay? So let's see what Funky Dineva said in response.
If you want to be like this, let's be like this.
Okay, hold up. No, I don't want to use this one. I want to use one that's going to play full out so I can go run to the bathroom right quick. Because I've already heard this. So Child, I watched it last night on the YouTuber. Gotta make shit sound old on the YouTuber.
You want to be.
It's all of it. How many?
You want to be like.
Oh, girl, y'all gonna make me scroll. I'm not about to scroll. I am not fixing to scroll. Hold up, y'all. I got it. I am not fixing to be, because, like, why is y'all clipping like that? Y'all, they clipping 5-second clip. Who the fuck is clipping 5-second clips, bitch? I don't have time for this. Hold up. Diva sent me something. I'm gonna see it in a minute. Oh, girl, I'm so glad that everybody is on the same page when it comes to this Todrick situation. Okay, because
Finna move on to a.
clip this shit. Okay, he clipped it. I'm gonna put it on. I'm gonna hold up.
So the rest of the interview is irrelevant before this happened. But what I can't tolerate is the sly shade, the sly messiness, and this thing that you do. You do just enough. You do just enough that when somebody calls you on it, then you can dip your hands back and be like, I didn't do nothing. What? I didn't do nothing. I didn't say the person's name. Okay, you started out with.
Are you aware of what really happened to you?
No, I'm not.
Or can you talk about it?
I can talk about it, but I'm not aware of what really happened to me.
Yeah.
All I know is that I went to a friend's birthday party. I gave a friend a birthday party.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't like that. I don't like that at all, because I'm telling you to your damn face, you was a bold-faced, bald-headed, goddamn liar, okay? That night was never about me. You and Zoe and all the rest of them, y'all was looking for something to eat. Y'all called me and was asking me what was there to eat up in my direction. I said everything up my way closed. I was like, we could always go to Roof Chris. Y'all said, fuck it, meet me at Roof Chris. I met y'all at Roof Chris, you and Zoe. In comes walking Mendices and his homeboy, okay? Now, this is the third time that me and you have been hanging out, and out of nowhere, here comes Mendices, okay? Now, you can make of that whatever the hell you want to make of it, okay? I was tired. I wanted to go home. Y'all said.
Yes. Brian is Birdman. Why? Y'all rubbing y'all feet in the bed, texting each other about Housewives of Orange County? I don't know.
We going over here to Sauce in Buckhead. Meet us at Sauce. I say, y'all, I really don't want to go. I drive my car over to Sauce. By the time I get to Sauce, Zoe calls and says, Tamar said, just leave your car at her house and we're going to go to V12. I didn't even want to go. You didn't throw me no party, love. Why are you doing this? Why is it so important for you to create this narrative like you were doing something for a friend and a friend did you so wrong? Okay? So now you and Mendices sneaking and dealing around. Mendices was behind us at the V12, okay? He just didn't want to walk in, or they had arranged it because he didn't want to be caught up all in the mix. If you were throwing Quentin a party, Tamar, the sign would have said Quentin.
No, y'all. She was texting Bert. She said I was texting Brian. So she was texting him before she passed out.
The sign would have said Funky Dineva on it. Okay? Now, in fairness, it was my birthday week, and maybe in your mind, you were saying, let's go out and continue to hang for your birthday, or it's your birthday, let's hang. But to create this narrative that you went to throw a birthday party for a friend and this friend did you so wrong. That's not right, Tamar, and it's not fair to me, and my feelings are hurt behind it. My feelings are really hurt behind you trying to create this narrative. And here is what the situation is, my love. For whatever reason, you being Tamar Braxton that you are, you like running to the internet and stirring up mess and confusion and drama. It's what you like. There is no real world where anybody busts out the front of their damn mouth and then start talking about they woke up in a pool of blood and they almost died. I did not play it in this interview, but at the time in which you went to the internet, you said you woke up in a pool of blood and almost died. In this interview with L'Oreal, you mentioned that you were home with David or somebody, and they said, we need to call the ambulance. And you were like, no, we're not calling no ambulance, which suggests to me that you did not almost die. Okay. But now, since you want to be like this, let's be like this. Part of the problem with this whole thing was, Tamar, is that I was never comfortable with the relationship that you and Mendices had in front of me. Okay. All of that, you at the music video shoot in your booty shorts, sitting on top of him meeting us up at restaurants every time we met up. I was very uncomfortable with it. And if we're going to tell it, let's tell it all. So since you were throwing a party for a friend's birthday party, do y'all want to know why I did not get out the car and go upstairs with Tamar when we got back to her house? Because after her and Mendices got through kissing in the back of that goddamn car, I figured they wanted to be up there privately. That is why when we got dropped off at Tamar's house, I did not go upstairs. I got in my damn car and went home because you were sitting on his lap in that goddamn Uber and y'all ass was kissing. Okay. And the shit made me damn uncomfortable. Okay. Now, if anybody know who happened and what happened to your damn teeth, it's Mendices and his best friend, because they was the ones who went upstairs with you. Now, I don't know whether they was fucking your ass from the back and ran your head through the headboard or what. Okay. But if anybody need to be investigated on what happened to you in your damn teeth, it need to be Mendices and his friend, because that's who went upstairs with you.
And there it is. There it is, y'all. Ooh, girl. Mendices and Tamar were really hunching. And we fucking knew it, girl.
That's who went upstairs with you. Okay? All the phone calls I got at the V12, is Tamar drunk? Why is she sitting on Mendices' lap like this? Why is she?
Yeah, because it came out that night. Exactly. It came out.
Why is she sitting on Mendices' lap? And see, here's the thing. I hate that I even chose to go this route because it follows the narrative of, oh, he just a messy sissy who couldn't wait to get mad day to tell her business, keep the messy punks from around you. Like, it would seem to me, Tamar, if you knew that I was holding on to all of this, that you would just leave me the fuck alone. Baby, you didn't throw no party for me. If anything, you threw a pre-party for Mendices.
Yeah,
because he's the one who went back upstairs with you. That lady husband. And see, y'all be around here in these blogs and shit thinking y'all be knowing what y'all be talking about. Folks be eating me up. And I just be sitting there. If only y'all knew. If only y'all knew. He's such a bad friend. If she was drunk, why he didn't go upstairs with her? That faggot just want to be around her. He just want to be around her because of XYZ. A real friend would have went upstairs with her. I didn't need to go upstairs with her because that lady husband went upstairs with her. You absolutely right. A real friend would have went upstairs. Her real friend went upstairs with her.
Yikes.
Hold on one second. This is my auntie nursing home. Quentin Latham.
Child, it was me looking around, trying to see if it was my phone that was ringing. All right, y'all. So, yeah, I don't think Tamar has responded. But that's what them people said. Girl. Let's talk about Milagro and Megan Thee Stallion. So, Milagro has been, like, I guess, on the internet running her mouth since the verdict came out. And she must have said something, but Megan and them are like, if you don't stop, I'm going to sue you again. Let's see. Oh, yeah, her lawyer, Milagro's lawyer put out a statement saying that it wasn't true what was being reported and that she had not been found liable for defamation. Apparently, there's this last thing that the judge has to consider if she would actually be considered a journalist. But I thought they already voted. I thought the judge is a woman. I thought we'd already discussed that and that she was not a journalist, and she said that she wasn't. So that's not the issue. I think the real issue is that they're saying that initially Megan and her lawyer did not send a cease and desist in order to warn her before they decided to sue her. So not giving her the time or the option of taking it down before they litigated.
I'm gonna start working on.
But this is what Milagro said. And y'all, controversy builds brands. Understand that. So if she uses this to become like more famous now, understand that that's the thing now. The currency now is just be a part of a big story, be a part of something polarizing, and it will put you in front of enough eyes to create the fame that you're vying for.
On my mixtape, because apparently the only place where you can bully people and talk crazy and pop shit is in the studio, but anywhere else is off limits, So I'm gonna go get on my mixtape.
So you're admitting to bullying people. You just want to be able to bully people freely. Yeah, that's the problem with most abusers, is that they just want to bully and abuse people freely without any accountability. Yeah. You're aligning with who you align with.
Shit, and make sure I channel all my energy into my raps and put that out and let that be artistic expression. But I love you guys so much. I hope that y'all can see the bigger picture and that you understand what new media is. I hope that you understand that the things that we do and the work that we put in is valuable.
Are you really trying to act like this was a fight for some type of journalistic integrity, some license for the regular Joe Smo with a podcast hookup to be considered a journalist? Is that what you're trying to say here? Ma'am, you lied on behalf of a man in a shooting case. Like, you got on the internet and helped him lie and create more distortion of the truth and misinformation. And you were doing all of this so that you can become more famous. And that's really the bigger picture. The bigger picture is not about, small media. That's something somebody gave her. That's something that somebody gave her. The idea to use that word, that buzzword.
And yeah, solid bitches, they ain't built, they born. You understand? So I'm happy.
Girl, what? Ronnie Ho quote
that I stood up for something that I believed in, followed it all the way through, and I don't.
So you believed in your ability to lie on somebody? You believed in your ability to ultimately use social media to abuse and bully a victim of assault?
Need validation from anybody else about those things. So I love you guys.
Y'all really make anybody famous.
And I'm so appreciative of you guys. Somebody said, I heard you lost your lawsuit. I heard you should go stream. I heard you blocked too. Listen, all I'm ever gonna do is block y'all. I don't get on the internet and cry about what y'all say. So thank you for the engagement. And so shout out to new media. Like I said, thank you to everybody that has supported me. And hold on, let me block you too, baby. Hold on.
Enough. Oh my God. I really don't like it. So statement from Megan's lawyers: contrary to public statements issued by Milagro's attorneys, the court has not issued a final judgment regarding the defamation count. The judge will make a final ruling and determine the entire financial amount that Milagro will be required. Hold up. Sorry. The judge will make a final ruling and determine the entire financial amount that Milagro will be required to pay. I'm sure that's what that says. Pay Megan inclusive of legal bills and defamation count at a later date. So, yeah, you still gonna. There were other counts, right? It wasn't just the one. It wasn't just the one count. At least Quinn Manuel appears to have learned its lesson about pre-suit notice. Megan's legal team has also submitted a formal letter to Millegro's team counsel highlighting their blatant misrepresentation of the jury's verdict, noting they are continuing to post defamatory content and requesting they retract the comments immediately. I think there is something so dangerous about people that refuse to report or accept the truth and feel like the truth is what they decide that it is. I think that's very dangerous, and I think it's very harmful. Um, the only reason Milagro being a media defendant will lead to the dismissal of the defamation claim is that Megan's lawyers didn't serve her a cease and desist notice before they sued her. It has nothing to do with her actual defamation of Megan. The media defendant issue likely is what led Milagro's lawyers to issue the misleading at best press release about the defamation claim. There is no final judgment filed yet, but as soon as there is, I'll share it.
I'm gonna start working.
But the verdict, let me see. I don't know if I can see it. If I can see it from here. I can't see it. I can't see it. It's not letting me move it. Oh my God. But I know they said that she was liable. And I believe this because here it is. Here it is. There it is, y'all. The verdict sheet. So the verdict sheet, question 2, do you find by a preponderance of the evidence that Miss Cooper's defamatory statements caused Miss Pete actual damages? Yes. Question number 3, during the time period when the statements were made, do you find by a preponderance of the evidence that Miss Cooper provided disinterested and neutral commentary rather than advocacy for a particular client or person's interest? Was she choosing a side? They said, I'm sorry. The question is, do you find that Miss Cooper provided disinterested or neutral commentary? Was she being neutral in her reporting of the story? No, is what they said. During the time period when the statements were made, do you find by a preponderance of the evidence that Miss Cooper regularly disseminated news or information to the public rather than making an isolated or one-time publication? Yes. Question number 5, during the time period when the statements were made, do you find by a preponderance of the evidence that Miss Cooper impartially disseminated information rather than acting primarily to promote her own business, products, or services? No. Let me read that one again. I need to download that again. Okay. Miss Cooper impartially so no, she was not impartial. She was not impartial. She was disseminating information partially. Okay, that's exactly what she was doing, which is why I used to hate when I would see her pop up on Twitter. Every time she popped up on Twitter during the trial, I was like, I can't listen to anything she's saying because she's lying. I didn't even know who she was, so I had no reason to believe she was lying initially, but I started to compare what she would report on Twitter versus what I would actually see once I went somewhere like CNN somewhere and I actually read what was going on. I was able to see how they were skewing the information. We were also able to see how they were getting shit from Tory, because how the fuck did y'all find out? Her and academics feeling like they knew what the fuck was going to happen before it happened. Question number 6, during the time period when the statements were made, do you find by preponderance of the evidence that Ms. Cooper operated for the purpose of informing the public about matters of public concern through news reporting, analysis, or commentary? Yes. During the time period when the statements were made, do you find that Ms. Cooper functioned in a similar manner to traditional news media and newspapers, magazines, television, radio? Yes. Regarding your answers to questions 3 and 7 together, do you find that Ms. Cooper should be treated as a media defendant with regard to statements made in the case? Yes. Okay. But that will also make her liable for her statements, I believe, right? It's like a catch-22. I believe that she might be able to get this one count dismissed, but that doesn't mean she's dismissed on all of it. The other question, do you find that Ms. Cooper intentionally or recklessly engaged in extreme and outrageous conduct toward Ms. Pete? Yes. Bondy, the defamation got dropped technically. Okay. Okay, hold on, let me come up here. Do you find that Miss Pete suffered severe emotional distress? as a result of Miss Cooper's extreme and outrageous conduct? Yes. Do you find that Miss Cooper willfully and maliciously promoted, without Miss Pete's consent, visual depictions of Miss Pete that she knew or reasonably should have known was altered? Yes. Yes. So to me, this is telling me that just because you got, just because there's a possibility that that one thing may not end up going through, it doesn't mean that all of this other shit it is not a part of the suit and a part of her having to be liable. Let's see. If you answered questions yes to 1 and 2 in count 1, defamation per se, proceed to the next question. Okay. Do you find that do you find by a preponderance of the evidence that Miss Pete should be awarded compensatory damages? Yes. Yes. I don't know whether that says 7, that looks like 15,000. That's what that looks like. 15,000. And I really just think that this is not about the money. This is about the point. And hold up, what's this down here? Do you find by preponderance of evidence that Miss Pete should be awarded compensatory damages against Miss Cooper for intentional infliction of emotional distress? So the first one was for compensatory damages, meaning you caused that lady to miss out on money. And in this is because of emotional distress. So they gave you 15 on one and 8 on another. Let's see. What else? Okay. And then this one, let's see. Do you find that Miss Pete should be awarded compensatory damages against Miss Cooper for promotion of an altered sex depiction? Meaning that video she shared, 50,000 for that. Let's see. Do you find by clear and convincing evidence that punitive damages are warranted against Miss Cooper on Miss Pete's defamation claim? Yes. They want to give her $1,000. Okay. Question 16. If you found Miss Pete on the intentional infliction of emotional distress claim, do you find by clear and convincing evidence that punitive damages are awarded against Miss Cooper on Miss Pete's intentional infliction of emotional distress claim? They said yes. So I don't know how y'all think this, how anybody would determine that this means Milagro won anything. The 59,000 in damages you may be seeing is based on the jury finding Milagro a media defendant, which if that stands will lead to dismissal of defamation claim. That would eliminate the 15,000 in compensatory and 1,000 in punitive for that claim, leading to 59,000 instead of 75,000. This has not been finalized. Judge Eltenega finalized the jury verdict into a judgment. But that, of course, doesn't include the dismissal of the defamation claim. That's an action the judge would take later. The jury was not told the consequences of deciding if Milagro is a media defendant. If I can interview jurors, I will ask them about this. Any jurors reading this, I'll be happy to interview. WhatsApp, whatever the fuck. So yeah. That's what's going on there. And then Megan Thee Stallion's longtime hairstylist reacts to her win, saying $75K, and that ain't even including Meg's expensive ass lawyers she gotta pay. And then Milagro tweeted mouthpiece activities, stay out of women's business and keep combing hair. I don't know if I would necessarily call this women's business. I don't know if I would call this women's business. And weren't you a mouthpiece for Tory Lanez? Isn't that what you're in trouble for? Because you were being a mouthpiece for Tory Lanez, and that got you in trouble. And he wouldn't even come in and testify on your behalf, paid a fee, so he wouldn't have to. I think it's so interesting when women betray themselves and play themselves out for niggas that would never do the same in return. And it's like they want to ignore that fact. You want to ignore how humiliating it is that you defended somebody to the death and they wouldn't even come and support you. And we kept telling y'all. I don't know what's going on in the comments, but y'all, do I have anybody in the comments that can handle that? Whatever the fuck is going on? Like, I'm reading these comments and I don't know what's going on, but I don't like it. I just want everybody to chill out in the comments. Okay. So continuing on, Megan Thee Stallion speaks out after winning defamation lawsuit. Not y'all still get on the internet lying after losing. And so this is what Meg posted.
I'm gonna start working on my mixtape because I channel all my energy into my.
Yeah. Let's see. Told the jury that presided Megan Thee Stallion, Megan Grand, Marrero liable for all 3 counts. Spreading false information. Let's see. Yeah. We're still waiting on that one.
Channel all my.
But you're still held liable for all that other shit, like putting out that video and stuff. So yeah. I don't think you have enough money to keep getting sued, but I guess you're gonna try. I guess you're gonna try, girl. Let's see. Is this the same thing from yesterday? I think it's the same thing from yesterday, and we're still waiting on the judge to specify what she's gonna do on that. So let's move on. So y'all, we didn't want it to happen, but it happened. Okay. Todd has decided that he is going to seek full custody of he and Candy's kids. And we all know the only reason why a man would do this instead of having joint custody is so that he can get child support. There are so many people that are saying that Todd is the primary parent because Candy travels so much. And I just feel like y'all are not representing a truthful depiction of what their life is like. For the majority of it, Todd traveled with Candy, and Todd also travels a lot. Todd also does media work and travels out of town often. And Riley herself said that neither one of them should have had more children because neither one of them are ever home. I think that Candy and Todd were paying for nannies and getting family help, and that's what was helping them with those 2 youngest. I think they had like a nanny. I'm not even sure if they had a live-in, but I'm sure they had a nanny. And so I think when y'all think because Todd didn't have anywhere else to be, so he was at the house with the kids, y'all think that was like him playing Mr. Mom and being like this very hands-on parent while Candy was always gone. And I'm telling y'all that I don't think that was the case. I don't think that's what it was. It's absolutely giving Kevin Federline. And y'all see what happens when that happens. Why do you keep saying grape in my comments? Like, why do you keep doing that? I'm about to ban you. Like, I don't know what's going on, but stop saying that. Like, why are we talking about that in my comments? That's weird. Stop. Yeah, Todd is resentful and always has been. But Candy's gonna use the Real Housewives of Atlanta clips, like I said she should. Cause it was like, what did you think was like what? Not only is this on a reality show for everybody to see, but they had it filmed by I'm sure by the lawyers or the what's it called, y'all? The notary. Right. So it's been recorded on 2 different fronts showing that you agreed that not only did you have the time, but you knew what you were signing and you weren't under duress. So next case. Then I saw this former Real Housewives of Atlanta husband Todd Tucker post a tribute to his mom. Now I don't know when this was. It's from 6 hours ago. Mama, I hope you are resting well. I need you more than ever now. You raised a good man that will continue to make you proud. My boy Raymond 1K died yesterday. Tell him I said what's up. I have a lot of unfinished business down here, but I look forward to the day I'll see you again. And if you see God, tell him I'm doing my best. Okay, so yeah. I appreciate that this may be sincere, and I will leave space for that in my commentary, that this may be like, a real post that son is feeling, right? And then on the other hand, it could be something being used to remind y'all that my mama died. So feel bad for me and don't think I'm this really bad guy. Because remember, my mama died. Yeah. Yeah. Men do that. Men do that. They do. They will run and do that, girl. So that's that with that. We'll see how it all goes. I hope Candy, I hope they just do joint custody. He doesn't get any child support and no alimony and all of that shit. You made a lot off of being with her. You'll be okay. And the reason why I say that is because I feel like this shit is flaw. Like I feel like this shit is flaw. What he's doing is flaw. And that's just my opinion. Okay, so where else do I want to go? I wanted to go here because, Toya and them have been creating some really great content, and they did this.
Okay, well, we're gonna let you go take a break then. I know you don't want to hear these questions. We're gonna let you take a break because I'm trying to get all in our business.
Can I say one thing about the love life, though?
What?
That I respect about her love, how respectable she is. And one thing, I asked her a question one day. I called. I say, Nate, you thinking about a child anytime soon? She said, Daddy, no times. I'm so lazy. No time. I said, I love my daughter. I love my daughter because
she don't need no kids.
With no kids?
I was just like, no, Lil Wayne, a grandfather, it's not gonna sell right. But then look, as soon as the feeling came over me, when you said that, like, I was like, I thought about, guess it's gonna be Meatball.
Oh no! He probably gonna be before me. Oh my goodness! So you still gonna be Lil Wayne and Grandpa?
Probably.
All right. Okay, we're moving right along into family and co-parenting. So obviously your dad and I didn't stay together. How would you say us, getting a divorce affected you?
I was so young, and it really, I was so young, so it really didn't affect me much. I was sad. I mean, yeah, but the older I got, y'all co-parented so well and so good. Y'all did that. Like, it was like, it never affected me to a way it was like, dang, I don't see my parents, or I want my parents together. I've always spent time with my mom, spent time with my dad. Like, y'all did that co-parents and stuff. So.
Well, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, pat on the back. Good job.
Yeah, because we know it was her that was making that happen and not him. And I want to say that they being nice about it. And I think it's because they're in a better space. But I feel like what we saw in real time on the internet was Reginae seeking love from her dad that he never really had the time or the capacity to give her. I think times when she was defensive of him, it was like a reflection of feeling like I need to belong to him. I need for everybody to know I belong to him, because I feel like sometimes I don't have as much of his attention or his love as I would like. And I think that when that was expressed in latter years, he made changes. I do. And so I think that they're in a better space now. Also, I did see that comment about, is she still eating off of Wayne? And I feel like, if you don't follow Toya, then you don't know that Toya is very self-sufficient, always has been. No matter what type of man she's been with, Toya's always been living a certain type of lifestyle for herself. However, I feel like if a woman can eat off of a rich man for the rest of her life because she had a child with him, especially at the very beginning of his career when he wasn't who he became, I think she should soak it up. I think if he wants to be a matriarch of a family and provide to the best of his capabilities when and if needed, yeah, that seems ideal. Like, I don't know about what everybody else has hopes for, but to me, ideally, if a man is the patriarch and the head of the household and all of this shit that y'all want to believe, right? Then if he's rich, I would want for him to financially provide for every woman that he decides to have children with and all of those children for as long as he is able to do so. Yes. I would like for that. If you're going to be a rich man going around having babies with a whole bunch of different women, I believe you should financially secure those women to the best of your capabilities, and you should financially secure those children. If not, what are we building wealth for if we're not sharing it with the people that we're procreating with? That doesn't make any sense. I think people are so used to men being stingy and only giving to women when they have free access to those women's energy and bodies and shit, that if a woman and a man are no longer together, y'all feel like she's no longer his responsibility. And there is a level of, we live in poverty. A lot of times, bitch, you can't be his financial responsibility anymore because he can't afford it. You know what I'm saying? Yes, there's some real shit to that, obviously. But when you are somebody like Wayne that is rich, once again, rich, I do believe that you should always, Nivea as well. Any woman he laid down with, I think that if they need something from him, he should give it freely. And I'm saying within reason, meaning like if you needed, money for something, give it to her. But if she's just asking you hand over fist on top of everything you giving her, and you feel like she's just taking a mile when you gave her an inch, then yeah, it's still in your control and in your power to not, right? It's because you're the one still holding the money. So it's still within your power to be disciplined and say, I'm going to give you this, but I'm not going to give you that. And you can take it or leave it. But because you're my child's mother, I'm always going to give. And I do feel like he has that mentality about his baby's mothers. I think he's better about it. I think he's better about it than the dream. Bondy, I love you to death, but why remarry if this man trumps it all? Who said that? Who said that? What do you mean, why remarry? Like, do you think that Lil Wayne is paying for her everyday, like, life or something? Like, no. Like, the transactional thing that's happening here is, I have a podcast. Hey, baby daddy, can you come on me and your daughter's podcast? Yes, I'm rich and famous. I barely do anything. Of course I'll come and do your podcast. That's what he's doing in this situation. Well, no. He's not paying for her everyday life. I do believe that she and her husband have money and have businesses together. They have their social media presence. But like most family dynamics, the person that has the most wealth, if there's anybody in the family that needs help and you can give it to them, I think that's what you should do. But the point of remarrying is you're not in a relationship with him. He's your child's father. That's why. You remarry because you still want like a marriage, like you want a fairy tale relationship of some sort. You want a partnership.
There was no real separation.
We still family.
Family,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
like y'all grew up together. Y'all always
Right.
was like family. So it's like
that's the place we come from too.
Yeah, I would say that. So okay, so
I feel like it's really a family. Like my
Yeah.
daddy said earlier, like we really was family. Like it's no bitter, no nothing. So
No separation.
yeah, no separation.
because that
And I love that.
that's what it's all about when you're co-parenting.
To me, I love that. And I always say, like, New Orleans people, we could be the fucking worst sometimes, but sometimes we be the best about some shit. And this reminds me of like how my aunt was. Like, her husband has a kid outside of their relationship. The kid is brought into the family as if, she's the family, because she is. That's my cousin. Like, that's what it is now. And because the elders in the family or the people in the family accept and they don't act a fool, and the relationship is over, you got kids now, we're gonna accept those kids. Like, people do it all the time, and I really do feel like a lot of people are just egotistical and they don't have the emotional intelligence or self-awareness to learn how to get past pain so that they can do the best thing for everybody involved. And the best thing is usually like centering the children and what the children need. The children need for everybody to get along. It's not their fault, the circumstances of which they enter the world. Adults are making those decisions. So adults are the ones that need to suck it the fuck up and, make sure that the kids are getting what they need. So when Wayne gets into a relationship with Nivea and Toya don't fight. The relationship is over. Like, don't nobody want to be with Wayne no more. Okay? When Nivea and Wayne break up and he get with Lauren London, and Lauren London is received well. You know what I'm saying? And any of the other girls that, he had babies with, and they all determined that the best way for them to all co-parent is for everybody, to be in contact with one another so Reginae can see her little brothers. Reginae will go over there with Lauren or go over there with Nivea and vice versa. I think that's a great situation to have children grow up in, especially if a rich man is taking care of everybody. And from what I understand, like everybody be at Wayne house. Who, me? I wasn't being disrespectful. Who, me? You might be talking about somebody in the comments. I ain't say nothing to you. But yeah, I feel like I definitely feel like this is something that they did well, putting any of that foolishness aside and focusing on raising their children together. I think that's like an ideal situation. If you're going to be with a rich man and he's going to be out here populating, okay, all right, I'll just make sure.
I
Yeah,
knew you was gonna say
it's
it.
the way to do it. Take care of them and move on about your way.
My Sag twin, that's like Lauren, but you have amazing
I love Lauren.
baby mamas, and I love them all. My mom was not a part of that because she's an ex-wife. So,
Oh my
yeah.
God.
And see, that right there was no need to do that. There was no need to do that, Regine. And hopefully one day you'll grow out of feeling that way as well. And I know that was just a cute little quip, but when we grow up as women, we realize that, well, when we emotionally mature, because a lot of people grow up but don't emotionally mature. Like being a wife, being a baby mama, what's the fucking difference? What's the difference? In this situation, what is the difference? They not together. He cheated on all of them. What's the difference?
Amen.
Oh, sorry.
Next.
You lived life as an only child for a while. What was it like becoming a big sister and all of a sudden having to share us?
Oh my gosh. First of all, I was the only child for so long. And then out of nowhere, this man had 3. And it's fine. Because I love them. I love my brothers. And then I thought that was cool. I'm like, okay, I got my 3 brothers. I'm 21. And this one have one. I'm like, oh, okay, now you want to have a baby. That's fine too. No, honestly, I love my siblings. Like, they teach me so much, and I can't wait till they get to an age where they start asking me about different things, especially my sister. Like, when she start calling me. My brothers are a little too cool. I actually do TikToks and
I knew you was gonna say it.
everything with them, and they be looking at me like, girl, you old. And I'm like, I'm not that old.
It's so funny when that happens. But yeah, no, this is cute for them. This is really cute for them. I feel like at the beginning it might have been an issue. I think we've all watched Regine grow up, and I think Regine has grown up to be a beautiful young woman. Like not just aesthetically, but I think the way she has grown in her life, right? Because you see this, we see it in front of us. So watching her grow, go from this relationship to eventually, okay, I'm gonna be single. I'm gonna just focus on myself. I'm gonna keep my shit private. Like every time we see her going through something that is to show her something or to teach her a lesson, she learns her lesson and then moves on. We still, I think her mom in general, like a lot of, that I always say that generation because I know this generation. And there are things that no matter how much they elevate, they stay old in certain mindsets, right? And one of those mindsets is feeling like marriage and a nuclear family is the end all be all. And, it's the, I hate don't spamming my motherfucking comments. You're banned. That's weird. But yeah, y'all.
Okay, I guess it's
I
time
like
to get
Regine.
into us and talk about what kind of
I think she works really hard. You know what I'm saying? Like I like Regine.
parents we were. Who would you say was more of a disciplinarian, me or your dad?
Her.
I mean, are you asking a question? I know you want the world to know, but I mean, you were bad cop. Dad was good cop.
Obviously the parent that can just come in and be the great guy and then go back out because he's so busy and he makes all the money. So like obviously he would not be the disciplinarian. He's the fun parent. The mother, the ones that is there all the time, that's the person.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
It was so bad.
Yeah.
It was so
It was
bad.
so bad.
I'ma call my dad.
Yeah.
Like, what?
And then my dad be on the phone like, baby,
Just let her get it.
just do what your mama say. Honestly, I can't say my dad was always like he wasn't on your side, but he wasn't off your side neither. He always
still
was
end
like
up giving you
"Baby,
whatever
just do
it
what
was you wanted.
Just do what your mama's. And he'll slide in the back. I'll get it for you. I'll get it. It was like, still respect your mama, but I'll get it for you later.
So who would you say had you had wrapped around your fingers? Okay, I guess it's time.
Oh, that's an obvious answer.
My dad. I would.
It's not just love though. It's guilt. We're not about to go through all this because there's 11 clips in here. But this was cute. Their podcast is really cute. They're having cute conversations. But I would definitely say the parent that's not there, like that's the reason why he's gonna give to you. Because he's not there. You know what I'm saying? He's making up for shit. And when you're young, that's great. But when you get older, sometimes that can cause issues if you feel like somebody is always going to be there to save you from your own mistakes. You know what I mean? Or make it so that you don't have to be accountable. But I feel like because she spent majority of her time with Toya, that probably wouldn't work as much. You know what I mean? Like, you can't always go by your daddy. You know what I mean? So yeah, but it's cute and I like what's going on there. So did y'all see this?
Through it all, right? The $1 million question that anybody would want to ask: are you still sticking with the story?
There is no story. Are they still sticking with the story? I've stuck with the truth the entire time. Now, there have been things that, with me telling the truth, that people will, because it's like, I remember it being where they were like, oh, he did a hoax. And I was like, I did not. And then they're like, well, he was buying cocaine. And I was like, my bad. You know what I mean? Like, that was true. That was true. Or they're like, oh, he did it. No, the fuck I did not. Or well, he was buying that. And I'm like, okay, motherfucker, I was. But that has nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
So
through it all.
So I just want to separate the bullshit from the truth that they tried to put on it. The fact of the matter is that I was walking down the street and I got jumped.
1, 2, 3, release them.
Didn't have anything to do with setting that shit up because I'm a grown-ass man and have no reason to do no corny bullshit like that. If I was going to set up some bullshit to look for attention, I would look like a hero. I wouldn't look like a victim. If I was going to set up some bullshit and I was really a dumbass to do some shit like that, I'm a director, I'm an actor, I'm a writer, I'm a creator. It would have been flawless. It would have been fierce. It would have been wonderful. It would not have been no bullshit like whatever dumbass did it. Period. Now, whoever really did it, congratulations to them because they actually got away with it. You know what I mean? But at the same time, do not come at me like I'm some complete idiot. I'm a very intelligent man.
Right.
You know what I mean? Humble, all of those things.
Yeah.
But come on, I'm an intelligent man. I stand in who I am. So I've gone out there and I've told who I am when I did not have to. I did not have to. I've been very honest about my life and about who I am from the very beginning of my career, when I didn't have to do that, because there's a lot of people that don't. They don't have to do that. So it just doesn't run with the history of me. It doesn't run with who I've ever been. And that has to stand for something. People's history should mean something. I've never been a frivolous man. I've never been an attention whore. I've never been any of those things. So you cannot then pull me into this and convince me to start seeing myself through the eyes of other people.
Yeah.
Again, I've said what I've said for 7 years. I've never changed my story. Everyone else has. I would have no reason. I have nothing to gain from that.
Okay, so as we've determined, that's not true. As we've been talking about since the beginning of this live, tragedy can always be used for someone's gain. There was a saying, when there's blood on the streets, buy property. It's not only like an actual literal thing, but it's also figurative. That when tragedy strikes, it can be capitalized on. And so I saw that documentary, y'all, and I'm gonna play devil's advocate in this situation because the way they set it up, I don't understand. Like, the only thing so the Osefo brothers are so untrustworthy. They are Nigerian MAGA, men that can be bought with white coochie. You know what I'm saying? Like, men that hate themselves and want so badly to fit into a society and be famous and want to feel validated. Like, it's so weird how these people like come to be so obsessed with like celebrity and fame. Like, I get it, but oh my God, like, calm down. You're a man. Like, why don't y'all have any reserve? Y'all are like sluts for this shit, for attention. Y'all are like whores for this fucking attention. And it's thirsty and it's weird. And so I don't trust the Osefo brothers. And I watched the documentary and it made me feel like there is a possibility that somebody could have done something to Jussie. And because the police department did not want to make that so, they go and pay those Osefo brothers to do all of this weird shit so that we can have evidence that they did it to protect whatever white boys that might have actually done it. I am open to that being a possibility because I did see that documentary and I don't trust them them Osefo brothers. They real names is not Osefo, huh? It's something with an O. Goddamn, Wendy, it's your fault because now scamming and scamming and Osefo going together for me right now. God damn it, Wendy. What was their real names? Y'all know the brothers. What was the brothers' last names? I forgot. But y'all know what I'm talking about. Them two brothers that was in the situation that one was saying they was like, I don't trust them. I don't trust their chain of events. I don't trust them. And the way they went into like the MAGA movement and the Republican Party after that, it low-key gave somebody bought y'all. That's what it gave. Like when the documentary made me feel like those Osundaro. Thank you. The Osundaro brothers. Something with an O, bitch. Them niggas, okay? I don't trust them. And the way it seemed as if they were like, bought up by the Republican Party or whatever was going on in that documentary, it made me feel like y'all had been paid for something. Y'all took the L. Y'all was able to get off. And y'all are over there cheesing and being exploited by white people, probably as African dick, being used as bucks by rich people. That's what that was giving to me. I could be wrong. I'm not 100% on it, but I'm open either way, right? I'm open to this actually being a setup and a scheme that Todd came up with to come to us to the with bullshit, and that something happened to Jussie, and because of who did it to Jussie, the police department or somebody would have wanted to protect whoever that was, and they would pay somebody to take the fall. Like that would, yeah, okay. I've seen enough scandal that I could see that being a possibility. Absolutely. Demetria Lucas did an interview with Kim Fox. When? Was it recent? Let me pull up her Instagram and see if I could see it. But I do feel like I am open to that being a situation, right? Because initially, y'all know, I believed him. And I didn't want to believe that he would lie about something like that. But the more evidence they put out, the more that's what it looked like. And the more he did weird shit. He kept doing weird shit, y'all. Let's see. I don't see anything recent on her page unless y'all can put the link in a bio or something. But yeah, I definitely can see one or the other being an option in this situation. He could be lying or they could have set him up. Either one. But y'all know what makes me not believe him? The noose that they put around his neck and then him leaving it on his neck. That was like one of the things that made me not really believe him. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Let's move on. So you guys, let's get into Kevin Gates. Do we feel like going into Kevin Gates right now? Let's just see. What is Kevin Gates talking about?
Who the first person ever tell you, hey, you're gifted? Before we ever had a conversation, I'm like, you gifted. I say, you got the same aura as me. You got the same glow. I know you gifted.
Okay, a lesson in game. A lesson in game. Here's how you do it. You get someone who's already extremely susceptible to manipulation. Whether they are a woman that's in survival mode, needing a food or aid or shelter, or someone that's extremely young. And so you get the young person easily manipulated. And the first thing that you infuse into the young person is how great they are. Step 1, convince the person that they're amazing. Also, step number 2, tie your own gifts, your own personality, whatever is good about the abuser, they're going to tie it to the victim. That way, you can start to see yourself as one, which means when you want to make a decision for yourself, you will think about him first, and you won't, because he is y'all, and y'all are him. You are no one.
You can't
It
get.
just be like so loud in my head. Like, okay, for example, remember when we were in Billings Montana.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, when you came back to the room, I was like, how was the gym?
Who the first person ever tell you, hey, you're gifted? Before we ever had a conversation, I'm like, you gifted. I say, you got the same aura as me. You got that same glow. I know you gifted. You can't
It
get...
just be like so loud in my head. Like, okay, for example, remember when we were in Billings?
Y'all, I'm trying to hear what she was saying. He's saying one thing, and I heard her say, you treat me so loud. Is that what she just said, y'all? And then she references when they went to Belize. And he comes back from the gym and she's like, hey, how's the gym? And then she's quiet and he's looking at her. And it's as if, girl, you sound dumb. What does that have to do with what I just said? But I'm trying to understand, what is she saying right now? She is above 20.
Montana.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, when you came back to the room, I was like, how was the gym?
You see how that don't have nothing to do with him saying that he was the first person to tell you how great you were? His silence in this moment is to let her know her not responding to him is upsetting him. He was looking at her to validate what he was saying. She did not validate it. She said something else. He now looks upset about that. Like, just a moment of staying quiet is to make it awkward, right? Make it awkward.
You said this about Brittany, just to find out she...
Kevin Gates said Brittany Renner was the one because she helped him find his current girlfriend, Jeleni Tejada.
She wasn't the one. She was the one. We had to go through what we had to go through so we could get to where we are right now.
Oh my God, this nigga is so manipulative. It's ridiculous.
But like I say, you know, who I love, I don't discuss. She was the one to help me get to this level. Let me find out Gates turned tender. No, Gates not turning tender. Gates being vulnerable. It take more courage to be vulnerable than it do to be walking around pretending like you tough. Because we can all see you hurting on the inside.
The fact that he understands that y'all will give him brownie points like that means he has some type of emotional intelligence. But what it should tell you is that when he's acting like a narcissist, he knows exactly what the fuck he's doing. He's aware of what he's doing.
Because I ain't gonna lie, I've done a lot of healing, but I still got a long way to go. As we all do. You said this about Brittany.
I feel like that message was so that he could low-key keep access to Brittany in case she was somewhere listening. In case she was somewhere listening, the door is still open, is what it's given. Okay, let's move on from there. Kevin Gates is a weirdo. It's sad that no matter how weird niggas are and how much evidence you have that niggas are weird, there's always more women that are willing to give these niggas an opportunity to hurt them. And I think that's really sad. And I'd like to break some of that shit up. So more evidence. This is a litmus test, right? Litmus test, a test to help you prove something is how I perceive, when you say something is a litmus test. Like Megan Thee Stallion, Tory Lanez trial, litmus test. How somebody responds to that will let you know what you need to know about them. This situation, the game wants all of his freaky homies freed, including R. Kelly and Diddy. Let's listen to the game. Who also has been accused of assault.
Hey, since nobody else ain't gonna say it. Hey, man. Hey, free kills.
I hate R. Kelly. Because I want to sing the song. I really do. I hate it. Because that's one of the worst ones. My mind is telling me no, but my body is telling me yes. That is one of the, like, that is obviously the thought process of a predator. Now, I don't want to hurt nobody, but there is something that I must confess. Why would you be hurting somebody? Because you don't see nothing wrong with a little bump and grind. Because you're bumping and grinding with a child. That's why. And that's why you don't want to hurt anybody. And that's why you don't want to follow your body. Because what's wrong with having sex with an adult woman? Nothing. This is about fucking somebody that you can't fuck, that you shouldn't be fucking. That's what this song is about. I just want to clarify for everybody. I hate it. I hate it. Because I tell you all the time, like, I loved Robert. It's one of my faves. Like, the way I want to sing that song, the way I want to scream that song out, I hate you. But just in case, you know, creeps. Creep, 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 creep. He's a creep. He's a fucking creep. More evidence that he's a creep. The game says if he was Celeste Rivas' father, he'd decapitate whoever killed the teen found dead in singer David's Tesla. Sir, weren't you the David in the situation? Isn't India Love on the internet still begging for Dick's validation because you were one of the first intros into being tricked out in celebrity culture for her? Because if I recall, she was like 19 or something. And I want y'all to recognize grown-ass men being in relationships with 18 and 19-year-old girls so that they can be barely legal. Yeah, those are PDF files that are trying to maintain legality in it. Doesn't mean that they're not still creeps. Okay? So it's weird for the nigga that would be the creep to tell us what he would do if it was his daughter, as if there are not a whole bunch of daughters that if somebody had a daddy that was about something, they would have handled you by now. You would have been decapitated in the desert somewhere. It was you did this, sir. This is you. You do stuff like this. You fuck girls that are still teenagers, still very young. Didn't you just have a baby with Evelyn Lozada's daughter? And didn't you have a relationship with Evan Lozada's friend, which means you were in the age group of her mom, and you went and had a baby with her? Men who have been around a kid, like around a woman since she was a child, as if they were waiting on her to become of age so that they can fuck her like this is Twilight or some shit. Like, what are you bitch ass niggas imprinting on the young girls? Oh, girl, that's a conversation y'all need to have about how much culture sexualizes children. It makes things that are childlike sexy, even on adults. I just came into contact and now I really understand who the fuck Sophia. What's the girl Sophia something. I forgot. I don't know why I keep forgetting her last name. But the white girl, the Sophia girl that be singing the songs all greased up and dirty. And she said, you're 20 looking 12 and 12 looking 20. She got it right. There are some girls out there that are telling a story, girl. I'm going to do one more and then I'm going to get off of here because you guys, I am starving and I need to get a workout in and I want to watch the rest of the documentary. And I'm going to come to y'all with more of the topics that we didn't get into today, like why all of these preachers are getting hemmed up for being child predators. Once again, telling people to pay attention to what's going on around them. Where's the last story that I wanted to do? Here. Okay. So I saved a story about Tisha Campbell and about the way people have been discussing her being on Martin. Bruh man from the 5th floor sat down with Art of the Dialogue and talked to them about what happened between Martin and Gina. And the way it was framed is as if the reason why your favorite television show, you know, was off the air after only 5 seasons was because Tisha Campbell, because Tisha Campbell lied on Martin. Even though ever since then, Martin has continued to try to have a relationship with Tisha and vice versa. But he had to come to them first, from what I understand. Martin had to come, and that's what I saw with that reunion. When they had that reunion on Amazon Prime, Martin was very humble, very quiet for the most part. It almost felt like, yes, this was about Martin, but this was more so him showing appreciation for the cast. Because when they were all on the show together and Martin was on drugs and acting a fucking fool and letting his ego go to his head and running naked in the street off ooh-wee, he ruined the situation for everybody with the way he acted. And so I believe he had to apologize and show changed behavior for all of those people to continue to fuck with him the way they have thereafter. And I'm talking about Tashina too. Yes, that generation of women, they're always going to find a way to defend a man. If they can find a way to defend a man, forgive a man for abusive shit, they will. And so they do. But essentially, what it seemed like to me is that they had to have a plethora of conversations in which Martin had to come to the table with some different type of energy in order for them to even have that reunion happen that happened on Amazon Prime. Then at the reunion, he was very humble, very quiet, showed a lot of love. But over the past few months on the internet, or just recently since we started talking about Martin again, I have seen the way a lot of y'all feel as if Tisha lied about something, or y'all believe that her husband is the one that made her lie on Martin. No. I don't believe that. I listen to these niggas comedy. I watch their shows. They're talking about how they think. They're talking about how they view women. All of my favorite comedians, I always had to create some type of separation in myself between enjoying their comedy and listening to the way they talked about women. Me. I'm a woman. And so the way they talk about women used to always be like nails on a chalkboard to me. But at the same time, I enjoyed their comedy. All of them have done this. So we get to this point now, and it's like y'all forget that every single comedian talks and says exactly how they think and how they feel, and it showcases what they are capable of. And then you find out stories about them and you don't want to believe it.
What's one thing that you think fans don't know about Tisha? Not just the characters from the shows, but Tisha. What's one thing that you want them, to know about you?
In real life, I'm actually quite shy.
Really?
Yes. But I hide it with being loud and making jokes. So when I'm super, super uncomfortable, I get louder and more jokier.
Got you.
Yes. So that's the real Tisha. But, that doesn't come out a lot. Nobody sees that part of me ever.
Yo, you know what?
And you know what else?
What's that?
Let me tell you something else about myself.
Yeah, tell me.
I talk about this in my stand-up, but
She's doing stand-up? Oh, wow. I wonder what she's going to say. I can't wait to hear it, especially if she's going to be honest about her life and her experiences and shit. The reason why I say that is because people like Tisha, y'all don't realize this. Tisha is like a main ingredient to these niggas' success. The success of these television shows. Tisha is a main ingredient of why Martin was so funny and why My Wife and Kids was so funny. Because when they're not there, I don't want to watch the episodes. The last season of Martin, when Tisha isn't there as much, don't really like that season. Kind of skip over it for the most part, except for the Halloween episode. And then with My Wife and Kids, that was that first season when the first or second season when she got pregnant and she left for a little while and then came back. Tisha has the comedic timing that a lot of these niggas have. And I think that because she's a woman, it did not translate to her doing stand-up. But it makes so much sense because her comedic timing has always been top tier. And yes, it's chemistry. But it's not just the chemistry, y'all. Because when people say chemistry, a lot of the time, it makes it seem as if it's the way this woman is relating to this man, the way this man is relating to this woman. That's chemistry. No. Tisha is the main ingredient because Tisha all on her own is extremely impressive. But because women aren't allowed to be in these spaces in the same way, Tisha had to get in where she fit in. You become a comedic actress. You stand alongside the greats and you prop them up. And then everybody thinks it's about y'all's joined energy. You know what I'm saying?
I'm very shy when it comes to dating. Like I'm stuttering.
What? What do you mean?
Because you can't trust people. What do you mean? What do I mean? You can't trust anybody. People are going to be able to easily identify her, which means she's always a mark to be taken advantage of, especially as a middle-aged Black woman.
I've only had boyfriends and then went straight into marriage. I never went on a proper date.
What do you mean?
No, for real. On my wife and kids. Ooh, baby, my baby. Teacher, oh, I need you. All you do is treat me bad. That's my fucking girl, bro. I swear. That bitch is hilarious. Y'all can play all y'all want to. Some of the funniest things happen because Tisha is fucking hilarious. There were so many times that Tisha would do shit, and the way the men on set would just like have to hold themselves because they would want to laugh so bad. Like, I think the way women carry these shows is sometimes undervalued because we see the man as the funny one. We see the man as the star. And so I feel like on some level, there's a devaluing of how valuable women in comedy and comedic actresses were to these projects. Because it's like y'all thought that if anybody was in that position, the show would have been just as successful. No. To me, and people may not like to hear this, but Tisha is the one that went from one sitcom to another sitcom, and both of those sitcoms were good. Tashina went from this sitcom to that sitcom, and like both sitcoms that they went into after Martin were iconic for them. Has anybody else on that show been as successful in a series manner? Yes, Martin did movies, of course, but I'm talking about as it pertains to being like an actual comedic actor on a series, a 30-minute series that's repeated weekly and all of that, which is a different monster to me than like just doing movies. I think it said a lot about how good Tisha and Tashina were at their jobs. You know what I'm saying? That they were able to move on and create that same magic, because I think initially people thought that it was Martin. That it wasn't the cast. The cast was disposable, or the cast was people that could be treated like shit in comparison to Martin. This is what they said about how Fox treated them. Like Martin was, the star, and everybody else got treated like shit. But what you come to see is that the show wouldn't have even worked if it had not been for Tisha and Tashina being so brilliant. And these are two people. That's another thing. These are two people that have been in the industry and have been working like this at a high level for a long time. Tisha and Tashina have been acting since they were kids. Yes, they met Martin and them when everybody was doing house party movies and shit. But essentially, I believe that it's only, a few of them that were child actors. And then, went into this, we're growing up in the late 80s, early 90s era. So you got your house party and all of that because, Kid and Play and Salt and Pepper and Martin and all of them kind of worked at the same place before they kind of, went and blew up. But to me, Pam, Tisha and Tashina were very, those are theater kids. Those are the people that actually have the expertise to back up the new talent that has it just like naturally, right? Martin just has his natural talent, not as molded as people like Tisha and Tashina that have done theater and that type of thing.
So wait, no one's ever
nobody asked me on a date to go eat dinner. I never had that. I just had a boyfriend, and then I went straight.
Okay, I know you're Tisha, but a lot of us know you as Gina.
That's the problem. Now, my friend, she over there. She said, she not to look it up either. She said, you're not marriage material.
To me, that sounds fantastic. Don't be marriage material. Marriage material means your material to be used and molded. You've already done it, Tisha. You don't need to get married again. To me, what she's saying when she said I had a boyfriend, I think people. This is where that term pass around comes from. Not from women like actually seeing themselves as somebody to be passed from man to man, but in a way that they're not exactly choosing their relationships the way they think they are. More so being plotted on, schemed on, right? Intentionally sought after. That's what it feels like to me. When you feel like they didn't really court you. A lot of times, have y'all ever like paid attention like the way relationships were formed, especially back in the day? There was no conversation. A nigga just took you out and now you belong to him and he can do whatever he want to do, but you can't. And nobody had a conversation about you being, his girlfriend and y'all being monogamous. These conversations didn't happen back then. A nigga say they gonna take you out, and if they decide that you belong to them, then you belong to them. That's why it was like you have to be very careful about dating back in the day, because it was almost like they wanted you to feel like you shouldn't date around, because even you dating around made you a hoe. So that's another thing. So as soon as I find the first person I fucking like, I'm going to, allow for them to coerce me into a relationship I don't really want to be in. I don't realize that when I'm younger, though. That's not how it feels when I'm younger. When I'm younger, it's like, oh man, like me, and he all right, he cool, he giving me something. Let's see what's going on.
What? Okay.
And I said, why? I've been married before. And she was like, nah, everybody just want to date Gina. It's not like marriage right now. The position that you're in, people just want to date Gina. They don't want to get to know me for me.
I'm okay. I mean,
so
I think she's gonna have to meet somebody that's not as familiar with who she is, which makes it hard, right? Because you often come into contact with people who already know who you are, because you are such a big face. People are gonna, recognize you. But I do feel like women like Tisha, you're just gonna have to learn how to be single and experience people as they come along, and it is beneficial for you in a moment. But like I think the idea of dating and remarrying and romance, that whole conversation needs to be restructured after the life that Tisha has lived. It should no longer be about, okay, now let's find the next man. No, fuck all that. Now let's do everything that Tisha wanted to do that Tisha couldn't do, because Tisha was working in a man's world and needed to be pretty and needed to have a level of doe-eyed innocence you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like Tisha came up in that time where I have to be very careful of everything, because if I don't, they're going to call me a hoe. I could feel it, like, all in the way she handled everything. Even when you think about the movie choices that she made, like, the women back then are very, very aware of how I can't just be out here fucking any and everybody, because then I'll get a name on me, right? And when you're really like trying to do this shit for real, if you have a name on you, then niggas will try you unnecessarily. They'll handle you in a way like a little looser than they will with somebody if they're not sure they can get away with that shit with them. You know what I mean? So yeah, I definitely feel like Tisha should be doing all of the things that she never thought she could do, like stand up. I also feel like Black women in this industry who have been actresses, I don't know if y'all have thought about it, but y'all need to be creating more of these productions. Like, when I was thinking about Taraji, and I talked about it earlier I saw a video with a guy saying that there was a blind item about Taraji back in the day during the Color Purple days being reprimanded for how she spoke about the wage gap between women and men in Hollywood, and how that conversation caused them to blackball her. And people were like, well, she has projects coming up, and she's working with Tyler Perry, and she's working with 50 Cent. And so I feel like it's almost like a trade-off. And I could be wrong about this, y'all, but just my opinion of it is that the freedom is the freedom of working with whoever you want to work with. That's the liberation of being an actress that's well sought after. Everybody forgets this, but Taraji P. Henson was primed to be A-list Oscar level. Like, when she did Benjamin Button, that was supposed to catapult her career. But what it did was give a resurgence to Brad Pitt's career. And essentially, I feel like after that, she's done a bunch of different projects and everything, but she did not lift off into what we would identify as white media in a way that would mean she was mainstream, which means you would have to have turned into the co-star to some white girl in a comedy. And that has never really happened for Taraji. Taraji has stayed on the black side of things. And to some degree, I'm sure that that's enjoyable for her. But as an actress that's trying to grow in this business, you want to do the big films. You want to do the films that are not just about black people or not just about you being a black person, but just the big roles that sometimes only come to the other side of the industry. And I think when she spoke up in The Color Purple, it was then used against her. And my commentary was that working with Tyler Perry is seemingly some type of indentured servitude. Yes, Regina King is one of those people that can move around. Kerry Washington is one of those people that can more freely move around and shit like that. But there is something about working for Tyler Perry repeatedly that makes me feel like you get into some type of indentured servitude, a situation where you have to keep working for him even when you want to work for other people. And I think this is happening on a small scale to a lot of the people that work with him, is that they kind of get pigeonholed into only being a Tyler Perry type of actor or actress. And Tyler Perry has done these big things, but at the same time, there is a refusal to grow. There's a refusal to make it bigger by including more people. Hold up, y'all. I want to see something. Hold up. Does anybody know who produced The Color Purple, this recent one? I just want to see something right quick. The reason why I say that I wanted to see something, because Tyler Perry wasn't like directly connected to The Color Purple. But what I did feel is that as two powerhouses in the industry, Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry, two friends that are powerhouses in the industry, if you have power, why can't you protect one of y'all favorite actresses from being blackballed, in Hollywood? Let me see. Hold up. I just wanted to see something right quick just to make sure. But yeah, I feel like Tyler Perry definitely did like some promotion. It might not have even been paid promotion, but I definitely saw him telling people to go and see the movie and all of that. Okay. I was just trying to make sure that it wasn't on his sound stage, and I don't think it was. But you know, shit, that actually would have made sense. I wonder why they didn't do that. Unless I'm just missing it. But I was wondering if it was filmed on Tyler Perry Studios. It was filmed at Tyler Perry Studios. But I don't think it was. All I see is them talking about Harpo Studios and Oprah Winfrey. But as I said, it wasn't a direct correlation saying that Tyler Perry was involved in A Color Purple, but it is him and Oprah having a very strong hold on Hollywood, and why they would not why they would not defend, why they would not protect. And I already, look at anybody that was friends with Harvey Weinstein for all of those years, like funny style. Like, it doesn't matter how you slice it. And then Oprah recently, everybody's been tearing into her ass about this very condescending approach to the no contact conversation. And how are you going to say it's a trend when you yourself went no contact with your own mother? You don't speak to your mama. So how are you going to say, you know what I mean? How are you going to say that it's a trend? Just because we're talking about it and we put language to it doesn't mean it hasn't always been happening. Because people have always been saying fuck you to their parents. Like, that's been people just used to, instead of saying I'm not fucking with my mama no more, I'm going to just move across the country for a job and talk to her less and less. You kind of wean off your parents back in the day. It's not the same thing as, you know, oh, I'm just about to go no contact and I'm going to communicate that to you. People are more direct and communicative now. Back in the day, they wouldn't do all of that. But either way, girl, that's all I got for y'all today. It was a lot. And I'm going to go finish watching Puffy's documentary so I can come back to y'all with that. Thank y'all so much for joining me. Don't forget, Reset by Design Wellness is going to Thailand next year, and we had an amazing time the last time we went. So if you would like to join us with Reset by Design Wellness for another amazing vacation, another amazing retreat, please go to the website and sign up. The EEC group trips are male and female, so you guys can sign up there if you want to go to Thailand with us. And we also have Mauritius, Tulum, and the Riviera Maya retreats coming up. The Riviera Maya is a couples, and the Mauritius and Tulum are women only. So I would love for you guys to come along and become a part of the CLIQUE. So go ahead to resetbydesignwellness.com and sign up. Yeah, with that being said, I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good rest of y'all day. And yeah, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.